This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. After putting up 35 points in the Game 1 victory, San Antonio center Victor Wembanyama expecting the Blazers to up the physicality to try and limit his effectiveness in Game 2 of that first-round NBA playoff series tonight, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio. Wemby says he and the Spurs will be ready. Rockets forward Kevin Durant, game-time decision, Game 2 at the Lakers tonight because of a knee injury that sidelined him for the series opening loss. As the Mets get ready to welcome back outfielder Juan Soto from a calf injury tomorrow, they'll try and end an 11-game losing streak tonight when they take on the Twins. While calls are getting louder for manager Carlos Mendoza to be fired, it's not all on him, explains ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan.
A lot of this is about the construction of the team, though, and let's not forget that they completely flipped the team this offseason. Pete Alonso gone, Brandon Nimmo gone, Jeff McNeil gone, and the players that they've brought in, whether it's Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien, Jorge Polanco, they just haven't performed.
Red Sox starter Sonny Gray placed on the injured list with a right hamstring strain. He was part of an offseason overhaul of Boston's pitching staff.
Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy tastes like straight-up birthday cake. Vanilla, buttery, funfetti flavor in one tiny bottle. It's all cake, no sugar, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost. Get yours today at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Shea Dixon here in about 15 minutes. Ben McDonald next hour. Tons of draft stuff to get to, but let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, we got a lot of news to get to today. 2 season-ending injuries for the LSU baseball team that we'll get to. Jay Johnson announcing on his coach's show Monday night. Cooper Moore shut down for the year. And then we reported earlier today over at LouisianaSports.net that Jake Brown with a broken hamate bone is having surgery and also done for the season. So a bad gets worse for the LSU baseball Tigers in what is a very, very, very forgettable season. So we'll get to that as we move throughout the course of the show today. Better news. Lane Kiffin's Tigers were back on the practice field. On Tuesday, we had media availability. And the offense just keeps on improving. Lane Kiffin garnered an awful lot of headlines early in spring when the offense was not really performing very well. And Kiffin kind of preached patience and talked about how it was going to take time. And that was something that a lot of people sort of use this word loosely, mocked him for. But he was quick to clarify. He's not saying it was going to take years, but it was going to take time. Well, you're starting to see that. After 2 Saturdays ago, the scrimmage that was just dominated by the LSU defense. 5 turnovers 5 interceptions, a lost fumble, a missed field goal. It was a very bad day 2 Saturdays ago. Last week, the offense kind of punched at their own weight. And then Saturday's scrimmage was a day where the offense won the day. And then Tuesday out at practice, that trend really continued. A couple of notes, and I'll get into what we saw in some of the team period. Whit Weeks was back. That was great to see. He's sort of ramped up here throughout spring from just watching with a jersey on to doing work off to the side with trainers to now participating in the individual period. So Witt did all the linebacker drills, but did not participate in the 11-on-11. It's clear he's not limited in any way. They're just being careful with him. That's great to see. Tamarcus Cooley, who was absent at practice last week, went through stretch Saturday at the scrimmage, but did not participate. He did the individual work today, but not the teamwork. So he did all the safety drills, but did not do any of the 11-on-11 or 7-on-7. Jace Thomas replaced him. I actually asked Lane Kiffin after practice about the safety rotations, and he even talked about them holding Ty Benefield. They held him out of some drills today just because they don't need Ty Benefield out there running around in spring doing drills, and it gets a lot of the younger guys reps. So that's good to see. Trey Wilson, the Florida transfer receiver, and Winnie Watkins, both of them in gold no-contact jerseys along with Trey'Dez Green. None appear limited in any way, but I don't know if it's precautionary or something else. Lane not very forthcoming with injuries. It's something he reiterated to us today. But those guys were in gold but were participating. And then William Satterwhite was absent again. He's the transfer center from Tennessee. So he had been running as the second-team center. So was Satterwhite out. The freshman Ryan Moret took the second-team reps at center. Sam Levitt continues to be out at practice, just observing, doing what he can, but not actually participating really in any of the activities as he overcomes the list, Frank. Dylan Jones and Harlem Berry continue to take reps with the ones. It's Stacey Gage and Caden Durham with the twos, or if they goes ones, twos, threes, you're seeing interchangeably Jones and Berry with the ones, twos, and then you'll see Caden Durham with the threes. Very clearly at this point with two spring practices to go, your top two options are Dylan Jones, Harlem Berry, Dylan Jones, in whatever order. Caden Durham is very clearly your third. Some other things that we got to see today, it was interesting. We got to watch the quarterback, wide receiver DB one-on-one drills where you explained this before, where it's just a receiver against a DB. It's a drill that's heavily skewed toward the offense. There's no pass rush. There's no safety help. It's just the receiver and the quarterback know the route. The defensive back doesn't, and they go one-on-one. And this was a day where the offense won 7 times and the defense won 6, so pretty evenly matched, which was, I guess, good to see. Trey Wilson had an amazing move where he just burned DJ Pickett on a double move, and that's no small task. The two matched up again later. Pickett was all over it, forced an incompletion. Great to see that matchup head-to-head. I continue to be impressed by Haven Finney. He had a one-on-one rep with Phillip Wright where he was just in Phillip Wright's hip pocket, reached across him with his left arm, batted the ball into the ground. You could just see this guy who should be a junior in high school right now just belongs physically. He's only going to keep getting better. Best rep was probably Roman Mothershed. He crossed over P.J. Woodland for an easy score. Now, Woodland did beat Mothershed on a previous rep where he was beaten but had a really nice recovery. So you're seeing a real competitive battle, which is good to see. I pointed out before, in 2023 when they did that drill, the offense never lost. And part of it was clearly, it was Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas and Kyron Lacey. And the other part of it was like Deuce Chestnut over there. And that was a pretty good indication. 7 banks. Yeah, that's why you lost every rep over there. It was, a first-round draft picks going against dudes that could not play at this level. They did an inside run drill, which is exactly what it sounds. It's 11-on-11, and they're running inside the tackles. So that's a drill that's heavily skewed toward the defense. I mean, everyone on the field knows where the ball is going. So this is one that is just about toughness. It's about gaining short yardage. And Dylan Jones is the first-team running back. We did see a fight with Stefylan Green and Weston Davis. Lane told us after practice Davis ran with the second team when they went 11-on-11 after this for, as he said, throwing a punch. We just saw the scuffle on the ground. But in any event, a good period. The second-team offensive line left to right was Sean Tompkins at left tackle, Jaquan Sprinkle at left guard, Ryan Moret at center. Devin Harper was back at guard. Remember, he played tackle on Saturday, back at right guard on Tuesday. And then Darren Stray, the Kentucky transfer, was at right tackle. We saw a 7-on-7 period, and they went ones, twos, ones, twos. So it's 20 plays. One's got 5 plays, two's got 5 plays, one's got 5 plays, two's got 5 plays, 20 plays. The ball didn't hit the ground until the very last play of 7-on-7. And the only reason it hit the ground is because of an atrocious defensive pass interference by Michael Turner against Trey Wilson. And there are refs at practice, so flags were flying in from everywhere. I mean, he was beaten so badly, he just grabbed Trey Wilson to drag him down so he couldn't complete the catch, which I guess is a good defensive move. Don't give up the long catch, commit the penalty, and give up 15 yards. But all that to say, in 20 reps of 7-on-7, the ball never hit the ground. Now, there's no pass rush, but everything else, it's a fluid offense. So I think that's really encouraging. Malik Elzy scored a touchdown from Landon Clark, deep middle. He burned Michael Turner. Michael Turner had a tough day. Michael Turner's had a good spring camp. He had a tough day today. But Malik Elzy scored on a deep ball, probably about 45, 50 yards out. And then the other big play was a slant to Corey Barber with the ones. He was in the right slot, quick slant across the field, hit him. He went across the field, up the sideline. The only reason he didn't score is because Jace Thomas took a really good angle and forced him out of bounds before he could score. But it was a gain probably of 50 yards. So a lot of good from the offense. And the last thing we saw was an overtime period where just what it was. I mean, it was overtime 2-point play, and so they never got to the 2-point plays, but they went to overtime, so the offense got a series from the 25. Prince William Monmielen came up with a big sack, forced a 48-yard field goal from Scott Starzik, which he nailed. The twos went out there, and they scored in 5 plays. It was a 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line. They threw a little wide receiver screen to Stacey Gage out in the right flat, and Gage was lined up as a receiver. He was split out wide. The running back was split out wide. They just hit him with a screen in the right flat, and he got into the end zone. So a really, really good day, again, for the offense against the defense that we all know is good and talented and deep and well-coached and all that stuff. And to see the offense still without their starting quarterback make the headway they have over the last handful of practices, I think has been really encouraging. So another really good day for the LSU offense. The Tigers will practice again on Thursday. There will be media availability for that. And they moved Friday's practice to Saturday, and that is not open to anybody. It's completely closed. So the final practice of spring on Saturday will be completely closed. So our last opportunity to see this team in spring will be on Thursday. Of course, we'll give you a report then. All right, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Whether you're at the box, whether you're at home, whether at your favorite restaurant, favorite watering hole, make sure you ask for it by name. The official beer of the defending baseball national champion LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, and the official beer of us here on AFR. So drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light and our friends over at Mockler Beverage. All right, y'all, it is after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll talk some recruiting with Shea Dixon. LSU, since last we spoke to Shea, has picked up 2 wide receiver commits, including one on Monday evening, as was expected. But we'll talk about Braylon Calais' commitment when we come back with Shea, and a gigantic recruiting weekend with a dozen official visitors on campus. We'll recap it all with Shea Dixon next on AFR.
AFR.
Got a text on the show text line a bit ago. It said, hey, Matt, what's that mosquito thing that you talk about? It's worth mentioning. I know I mentioned it every year about this time. It's the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. You can find it at Clegg's. It comes in a box. It's a tube the size of a track baton. You take the top off. There's granules in it. You fill it up with water up to the fill line. You shake it up. You hang it on your property line. And just like that, you're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. And it's like, I don't know, it's like $27, something like that. $30. So it's super affordable. If it doesn't work for you, okay, you're out $30. But I'm telling you, it's been terrific. Like, we have a pool and a pond behind our house, and we do not have a mosquito problem. And this is the only thing that I use. So it's affordable, and you can find it at Clegg's. It's the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. If you can't remember that, just go to Clegg's and say, hey, what's the mosquito thing that I hear Moscona talk about all the time? You can find it at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. So buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Did he do it again? Say it ain't so. Shea. I mean, we talk to Shea Dixon every Tuesday here. A couple of weeks ago, Shea no-showed. Had us really worried. He was confirmed, and then we couldn't get a hold of him. And found out he fell asleep. I don't know what adult just falls asleep in the middle of the day and sleeps all day. But Shea is not answering the phone again. After having Muse, you confirmed with him, yes? You confirmed.
Yes, I can. He responded and confirmed. Yes.
This is so good. I almost hope he doesn't. I mean, I want him.
He's easy.
I want him to come on the show because I want to talk to Shea and do our recruiting segment and all this stuff. It's a big weekend. I mean, LSU got a commitment a day ago, and last night, as we anticipated they would, from Braylon Calais, but then a monster weekend with a dozen official visitors on campus this past weekend. So I want to get all the reaction and everything from Shea, but Law and Order LSU actually is maybe a little bit funnier than Shea actually coming on the show. So we'll see what might happen here. All right, if Shea jumps on, we'll go to him, but he's not here, so we'll just move on. I'll shift gears to what I was going to talk about at the top of hour number 2, which it's really unfortunate for LSU baseball, as we've now learned there are not one but 2 season-ending injuries for the Tigers. So we know Cooper Moore had been out, suffered the arm injury that had cost him to miss the past handful of weeks in the Southeastern Conference. Jay Johnson had told us last week that Moore would have been available for something. He was trending in that direction. They didn't call upon him in the Ole Miss series. And on his radio show Monday night, Jay Johnson effectively explained why.
So, unfortunately, on Cooper, we got a second opinion, and he's going to be out for the season. It's in his best interest, and the positive news is he will be on our team next year. So, it's a 4-month, surgery and procedure. It's basically a broken bone in there that we got a second opinion, and the thought was he could throw through it, but what this does is allows him to recoup a medical red shirt and allow him to still be a junior next year, and he'll still have the junior leverage type deal in the draft.
So, really disappointing. And I want to be very clear. I don't think that this is Jay Johnson or Cooper Moore or LSU throwing in the towel on the season. Maybe you perceive it that way. I don't. I think arm care and big picture opportunity a lot of times is what guides these conversations as it pertains to young guys, especially pitchers and prospects. And I remember having this conversation with Paul Maneri when Zach Hess was sort of transitioning. Remember in 2017, Hess had that amazing season out of the bullpen down the stretch, and he was going to be transitioning into a starting role in 2018. And I remember asking Coach Maneri before that season started if they would consider using Hess similar to how they used Lewis Coleman. If you remember in the championship season in 2009, Coleman would close on Friday and then start on Sunday. And Maneri effectively said that's just not a thing that's realistic in baseball anymore because of arm care routines and all the different things and caring for prospects. And if you mistreat or misuse a prospect, then you're not going to get prospects in your program. So I think as you look at a big picture for Cooper Moore, it sounds like this is absolutely the best decision for him to not throw through it, but also for Cooper Moore to be able to have this procedure, take his time recovering, and then still with draft leverage come back next season and be a part of the rotation. And so as you think about what the rotation will look like next year with Cooper Moore, and obviously Kason Evans, William Schmidt, and then you have some really talented young guys like Marcos Paz, who's been outstanding here of late in his ascending. I think is no doubt going to be a weekend guy before his time at LSU is over. And then maybe what might you go after in the portal? I know it's strange that here on April the 21st we're talking about portal and next year, but it's sort of the hand that this team and Cooper Moore has been dealt as of this point. So it's unfortunate. It's certainly unfortunate it's happened this way because Cooper Moore returning would have been a real key cog into the possibility of getting on track and maybe making a push toward the postseason. I could have sold you on that if Moore returned to the rotation and Schmidt maybe move back to Sunday. It would give you an opportunity over these final 12 league games to find a better opportunity to find yourself toward 7 or 8 wins that you would need to get into the NCAA tournament. That just doesn't feel – it already doesn't feel realistic. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. And less so clearly without Cooper Moore. And then you throw on top of that the news that we broke earlier today at LouisianaSports.net. Was actually told this before I came on air yesterday that Jake Brown had broken the hamate bone in his hand. As we all know, that was the infamous Warren Morris injury, but wanted to make sure that we had it from multiple sources confirmed. And so sat on it yesterday and then was able to get multiple confirmations today that Jake Brown did, in fact, break the hamate bone in his hand. If you're not familiar, that's the bone. It's kind of on the side of the hand down near the heel, like your palm. And a lot of times you'll see that with guys who, from the reverb of like near the knob of the bat right there, which will cause that, that injury sometimes. Daniel Dickinson had this a year ago. Famously, of course, it's the Warren Morris injury, as we all know it. But, you look at Jake Brown, and it kind of – I don't know when it happened. I haven't been able to confirm when it happened, but I think you can certainly look at what has happened to Jake Brown over the last 2 weeks, and this probably gives you some explanation. So Brown homered, if you remember, in his first at-bat of the Ole Miss series. Homered in his first at-bat on Friday night of the Ole Miss series. Since that at-bat, Jake Brown is 4 for 29. Just 4 hits, 12 strikeouts. He's hitting 137. Clearly, there's a correlation that somewhere in there is when this injury happened, and Jake Brown has been trying to gut it out, playing through a lot of pain, and it's not been good. In a weird twist of irony, this probably actually helps Jake Brown's draft stock because it explains the slump. You looked at this player who was surging up everybody's prospect lists and draft boards throughout the first 3 months of the season, and then, or 2+ months of the season. And then here over the last couple of weeks, you've seen that average just plummet mired amid this slump. Well, this sort of explains it. So we'll wait and see what the what the timeline is whenever Jake can't actually talk about this on the record. I'm told that surgery is necessary, and that will be season ending for Jake Brown. And this is a guy that leads your team in home runs, leads your team in RBI. So you're taking your biggest bat out of the lineup, which is just devastating for a team that's really struggling already. If you want to flip it to the positive, Jay Johnson on Friday talked about, I'm paraphrasing, but sort of relying on the guys in the program. Well, next year, you're replacing your entire outfield. Stanfield's out of eligibility. Curriell and Brown are going pro. So you're going to have an opportunity now over the final 4 weeks of the season to see a lot of William Patrick and Daniel Harden. William Patrick may very well project as a shortstop, but he's not playing shortstop right now. I mean, Stephen Milam's playing there. So I think for William Patrick and Daniel Harden, this is a great opportunity to get those guys ABs and to prepare for guys that could very well be starters in your outfield next season, to get sort of a jump start on that for next season. So it's not in any way what anybody wants. We all understand this has been a pretty miserable season, unfortunately. They've been snake bitten from the second game of the season with Chris Stanfield's hand injury, the Cooper Moore injury, now Jake Brown, Dardar sliding awkwardly into the base. It has just been, it feels like one thing after another, piling on a team that already had its own struggles. But Cooper Moore, Jay Johnson did confirm his season's over. And as we reported, Jake Brown's season over due to surgery on that hamate bone. We'll see if Jay Johnson will, in fact, confirm that. The Tigers play tonight against UNO, so Jay will talk to reporters after and see what he has to say about it. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. We are brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Mother's Day is right around the bend, and so too is graduation. So if you're looking for something for mom, you can always thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Or maybe you have that graduate in your life. Beautiful pearls are always an elegant gift, great for graduation. Maybe a watch, a gorgeous timepiece. They have so many options for any budget at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. So go to any of the locations, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport. You can always shop them online 24/7 at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill mom this Mother's Day with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Any word from Shea?
No word from Shea.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a tough scene over here.
It is.
I mean, this is 2 of the last 3 weeks now.
2 out of the 3, yeah.
All right, do we think Shea is sleeping? It's a little delayed there.
Yeah, sorry.
If you're going to do it. All right, so do we think Shea is sleeping? Do we think Shea forgot? Do we think Shea hates us and is just sabotaging the show? Do we think he just likes the chung chung sound or wanted to hear it? A, B, C, or D?
I'm going to go with A.
Let's make a Twitter poll.
I'm going to go with A.
Let's make a Twitter poll. Let's tag Shea in the Twitter poll. Make sure that he's aware whenever he comes to. I'm not going to throw in another choice in there, which would be like he's face down in a ditch somewhere.
Let's not do that.
I don't want that.
No. Let's not even put that out there. Yeah, let's not even put that out there.
Not going to do that. So let's go with those options and see what turns up. See what people think.
Okay.
Results on the next episode of Law and Order LSU.
All right, it's After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Quick break. We'll go around the SEC. Stay here.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions, glowresources.com, GLO. Remember, if you're hiring, Glow Resources can help you find the best people for the job you're trying to fill. What job? Doesn't matter. Any job. Skilled blue-collar labor, you need welders, pipe fitters, crane operators. They can help you find all those. Maybe you're looking for office jobs. Great, they can help you there as well. They're awesome at what they do at Glow Resources. They know the questions to ask to help you find the people that are going to make your business the most efficient and effective it can possibly be, and they handle every piece of it. They guarantee that they're going to find the right person. As a matter of fact, if the employee they find for your business doesn't work out, they will either give you a prorated refund or they'll find you a new employee free of charge. What do you got to lose? Be more productive, more profitable, more efficient. Let Glow Resources help. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
I make a little room and she climbs on up. I open up
Drop a throttle and stir a little dust. Just look at her.
All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. Draft, more than 48 hours away. We'll spend a lot of time today and tomorrow, obviously, leading you up to the NFL draft and all the storylines. This is a time where a lot of storylines abound, right? You're going to hear a lot of rumors. It's the old thing, almost like we talk about in coaching searches. Consider everything, believe nothing. Adam Schefter, as good a source as any when it comes to the NFL. He was on NFL Live, and this could be really, really compelling. Remember, a day ago we talked about the possibility. There was the report from the Arizona Cardinals guy about the Saints and the Cardinals discussing a trade up from the Saints from 8 to 3. But Schefter is saying the Cardinals are at 3, and they're very much in love with the running back from Notre Dame.
A lot of people believe he's the best player in this draft. Now the question becomes, how high can he go? And there are people around the league who believe that Arizona will have him in the conversation to go number 3. The Cardinals are going to listen to offers for the 3rd overall pick. We'll see ultimately what they decide. There are many holes they have to address, but there have been people out there saying it could be difficult for them to pass on the best player if he happens to be there at 3, which we are expecting.
I'll just give you my read on this. Again, I don't cover the Cardinals. I don't know anything about the inner workings of that organization. What I do know is the draft, which we've watched and covered and talked about for a long time here. And with the draft, you always try to affect action throughout the draft using whatever leverage you can. It's almost like poker, where you may bluff. People use the phrase smoke screen a lot when we talk about the NFL draft. Well, this is one of those instances where everyone for the last month has assumed Jeremiah Love is going 4 to the Titans. Right? I mean, like, you look at the odds from our friends at DraftKings, everywhere. Like, Jeremiah Love, since the Combine, when he blew up, everyone has assumed he's not getting past 4, the Titans at 4, and that's probably where he's going to land. Well, if you're the Cardinals and you have the 3rd pick and everyone is sort of assuming that running back, Jeremiah Love, is going 4, and now all of a sudden you're maybe leaking stories, giving teams something to consider. Hey, if you love Jeremiah Love and he's going at 4, hey, you float a story that we might be interested. Well, now all of a sudden our team's interested in maybe leapfrogging Tennessee to get to 3 to take Jeremiah Love. Or are there teams that want one of those elite defensive, one of those edge rushers? If it's Arvell Reese, if it's David Bailey, and you want to go up ahead of Tennessee and maybe get in that spot to take that player, effectively it's Arizona saying, like, I don't believe the guy, I don't even know his name, whatever his name is, the guy, the Arizona podcaster who put that out there yesterday. Like, I don't think that was just plucked from the air. I'm sure somebody told him that. I don't know who. I don't know how credible the person is that told him. But sometimes stories get leaked with intent. You're trying to affect some action. And so it kind of feels like Arizona, which parted ways with what they thought was their franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray, is very much in a rebuild, has a lot of needs, would be interested for the right price in acquiring more assets, similar to what the Giants just did. Again, with a young franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. Now they got 2 top 10 picks. So it feels like it feels to me, again, outside looking in, that's what this is. But it's worth keeping an eye on. And we talked about it yesterday, but the Saints have done crazier things. We know Mickey Loomis loves to be aggressive in the draft. You do have an offensive-minded head coach in Kellen Moore. And if the New Orleans Saints do have Jeremiah Love as maybe the top player on their board, and they see him there at 3 and an opportunity to get in front of the Tennessee Titans, I mean, I think it would be stupid for New Orleans to trade up to 3 for any player in this draft when you're sitting at 8 and you're going to have great options at 8, and you have so many needs to give up perhaps your 2 and your 3. Like, I would make those picks and get 3 really good players that can help you over the next 4 years while they're on their rookie contracts affordably. But crazier things have happened. It wouldn't stun me to see the Saints leap up to 3 to take the player they love, be it an edge rusher, one of the guys you just mentioned, or Jeremiah Love. And I get it. I mean, they just paid Etienne, so it wouldn't stand to reason, but they also restructured Alvin Kamara's contract so they could part ways with him. If that were the case, why not just cut him? Yeah, I don't know what direction they're going, but I always just kind of hold my breath with the New Orleans Saints because they're just not a patient team in the draft. They're an aggressive team in the draft, and when you're aggressive like that, you can be unpredictable, and the Saints tend to be that when it comes to the NFL draft. We'll see here in about a little more than 48 hours. All right, brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. If you missed it, told you on Friday, reminded you yesterday, and Supper Club is back open today, so Tuesday to Saturday. But I was talking to Chef Layton last Thursday, and he got in 2 slabs of true Japanese Kobe beef. And look, if you love Wagyu, if you love rare, hard to find, almost impossible to find beef, you have got to go try this authentic Japanese Kobe beef that's at Supper Club. It's not like something that you can just keep on reorder. This is, I think, in the time that they've been open, the second time that they've gotten true Japanese Kobe beef over at Supper Club. It's if you've ever seen it, I think Chef's going to put a social post out there with it as well. It's got like the purple chrysanthemum on the end of the beef. You've probably seen it before if you're familiar, if you're a steak nerd, if you love great beef. But if you have never tried or have tried and would love to try again or ever wanted to try true Japanese Kobe beef, authentic Kobe beef, they have it at Supper Club right now. When it's gone, it's gone. It'll probably last a week, and it'll be gone. So highly recommend get by Supper Club and treat yourself to that experience of trying Kobe beef. It's at Supper Club right now. Perkins, near Bluebonnet. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. All right, it's After Further Review. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
Forward Thomas is returning to Florida for his senior season. Entered the offseason as the number 12 player overall in the draft as prospect, the second best small forward, consensus second team, All-American, first team, All-SEC. Averaged 17 points per game for the Gators this year. Back for senior year.
The Auburn Tigers.
Sebastian Williams-Adams has pivoted. He will enter the transfer portal after previously announcing his return to Auburn. As a freshman, 6'8", 230-pounder, averaged 7 points and 3 boards his first season on the Plains. Auburn's already landed a couple of transfer big men on Monday.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss football has added a massive in-state offensive tackle, Kadero McDaniel, 2027 commit, 6'7", 325. Chose the Rebels over Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, North Carolina, Kansas. Ole Miss now has 7 commits for the 2027 cycle.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
4-star Ohio safety Tristan Hughes has committed to Kentucky over Virginia Tech and Purdue. Those were his other finalists. 5'11", 190-pounder, the number 21 athlete in the country, the 351st overall prospect. He's 9th commit for Kentucky's 2027 class.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
And Clark Lee has landed 3-star cornerback Matt Williams. He's out of Virginia, chose Vandy over Indiana, Maryland, Duke, and others. 6 feet, 160, the number 53 cornerback in America, the 12th best player in Virginia. He's Vandy's 4th commit for 2027. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We are presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Bunkie and below, you want a Deere, you're going to Sunshine. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. Ben McDonald in 45 minutes. Get Ben's thoughts on what's going on with this LSU team. Cooper Moore's injury, who he'd like to see over the final month of the season, maybe take that step forward. We'll get to all that with Big Ben here in about 45 minutes from right now. All right, let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue. Speaking of the draft, Mel Kiper's put out his final big board, the top 150 prospects in the draft, And one of the guys that could push Mansour Delane to be the top cornerback taken in this draft might have just taken a big-time tumble. We'll explain. It's AFR.
After further review.
Saw my doc today, Dr. Curtis Chastain. Awesome dude. Been a huge part of my health journey and getting as healthy as I've ever been in my life. Another part of it as well has been my friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. Yes, Goodwood, funny name, funny logo. We talk about it all the time. Yes, they do ED treatments. If you have ED, they can help. Not being dismissive of that, but that's just one thing that they do. But for me and for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, not thousands, I haven't really asked that question. Is it hundreds or thousands of other men? They've helped with hormone replacement therapy. Every single human, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to our performance and how we feel. Hormone replacement therapy, a simple blood test, can let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. Get back to feeling your best and your body performing in every function at its highest level. Learn more at YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Mel Kiper's got his final big board out for the upcoming NFL draft, which starts Thursday in Pittsburgh. The big board is not a mock draft. It's just a ranking of the top 150 prospects in the draft. It's no surprise to anybody. He's got Fernando Mendoza as the top prospect in the draft. He's got Jeremiah Love, number 2, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, David Bailey. That's your top 5. from Mel Kiper. Caleb Downs, another Ohio State Buckeye at 6. Jordan Tyson, the top receiver at 7, one spot ahead of Carnell Tate at 8. It'll be fascinating to see what happens with those receivers. By most accounts, Jordan Tyson, many consider to be the best receiver in this year's draft class. He's just had a checkered injury history, which could very well cause him to drop. If you're wondering, Mansour Delane, Mel Kiper has as the 14th best player in the draft. That's regardless of position, just again ranking the top 150 prospects in the entire draft. He's got Delane at 14. And that is about 15 spots ahead of the next highest cornerback that he has graded in this draft class. And that's Jermon McCoy from Tennessee, who Kiper ranks as the 29th best prospect in the draft. Again, just one man's opinion, just one man's ranking there. But McCoy is going to be fascinating because, similar to Jordan Tyson, he was largely considered the best cornerback in college football a year ago, in 2024. Well, he tore his ACL last year in spring, missed the entire season. And so it's kind of been this strange question of, all right, what do you do now with Jermon McCoy, who was this incredible prospect, would have been the first cornerback taken, but he misses the entire season with a knee injury. And now there's a report that from Tom Pelissero of NFL Media that McCoy could actually be facing another knee surgery.
Let's talk about what this is and what it is not. It's not the ACL that he had reconstructed. My understanding is the ACL itself is fine. All the scans look good. The concern is about a bone plug that was used to repair a cartilage defect in his knee. Some of the doctors that have seen his scans are concerned that he will need another surgery to replace that bone plug, which would be an extensive recovery. We know this, Ian. McCoy feels good. He certainly looked it, ran really well at his pro day. In his mind, he is fully anticipating being ready to roll in the 2026 season. But you got 32 team doctors, 32 degrees of risk tolerance. Everybody is looking at this. This is a top 10 talent who potentially may not go that high, may not even go in round one.
So a couple of comps, and this does happen. Derry Beckwith, who's our good friend, who's an all-SEC linebacker at LSU. I remember Derry telling this story for a lot of years. Derry was a guy that most projected as a day 2 NFL draft pick, probably like a third-round pick as a linebacker. And he went undrafted because as he went through all the pre-draft testing and doctors looked at his knee, they determined that he had a shortened career span because of knee injuries. And so he went undrafted. He was off boards altogether. Arian Foster. Remember Arian Foster? He was a great running back at Tennessee. And ended up being a great running back in the NFL also. But he went undrafted because of injury concerns. Dylan Moses was a 5-star, number 1 player in the country, went to Alabama. He had a knee injury at Alabama, but had a really good career, a very solid career otherwise, but went undrafted because of the injury concerns. And there's a risk-reward there that teams have to weigh. Maybe the best example of that is Jalen Smith. Remember Jalen Smith, the linebacker from Notre Dame, who some considered back in that 2017 draft the best prospect in the entire draft, regardless of position. Well, he suffered that horrific injury in the Fiesta Bowl. I believe it was against Ohio State, and it was a great telltale of teams, of players, why not participate in bowl games. Actually, Dallas drafted him anyway in round 2 at pick 34, early round 2, and effectively gave him a redshirt year. He didn't play his rookie year while he recovered. Ended up playing 7 NFL seasons. But, again, a guy who saw his super, super high ceiling lowered as a result of that injury. So teams are going to have to decide what to do here with Jermon McCoy. But that's certainly to the benefit of Mansour Delane, who, with Jermon McCoy having this injury question surrounding him, it very clearly opens up the path for Mansour Delane to be unquestionably the number 1 cornerback taken in the draft. It's just a matter now of where in the draft he's going to be taken. It's going to be in round 1. Is it top 10? Is it somewhere in the teens? That remains to be seen. But Jermon McCoy was really the only player that could have, in theory, pushed to be the top cornerback in the draft. Well, that's obviously going to be Mansour Delane now. So we'll see how it all plays out when the draft starts on Thursday. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. Industrial Generac generator power. That's what we're talking about with Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com. Remember, we talk all the time about home standby generators. This ain't that. Arco, this is Industrial Generac generator power. These are generators for your business, and everything Arco does is turnkey. They can sell, service, install, rent your Generac industrial standby generator. Maybe you have a fair, a big carnival festival coming up. You need portable generators. They can help you there as well. Arco.com. ARCCO. Arco.com. Arco.com. Okay, y'all. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Come back. Kick off hour number 2. Will Wade's got a player.
After further review.
I got a text earlier today from my Uncle Mike. Shout out Uncle Mike Moscona, down in Canterbury. Got Parish Construction Roofing over at Uncle Mike's house. Big old project, man. He had this big giant canopy on the back of his house that had to be removed. They had to rebuild it. Some roof repairs needed to be done. Giant job, but illustrative of a couple things. Number one, my own family trusts Parish Construction and Roofing. And then also, number two, the scope of what we can do. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements, gutters, soft wash, gigantic scope of all the work that we could do for you over at Parish. What I always encourage you to do, though, is to do business with someone you know. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. That's our website. Go there. You fill out the form on the homepage. We'll get in touch with you pronto. All over South Louisiana. Got our Austin, Texas office now open as well. So shout out to those Texas Tigers. Let them know. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 2 nights after an impressive NBA playoff debut, NBA Defensive Player of the Year Victor Wembanyama leads the Spurs against the Trailblazers in Game 2 of that first-round series tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. 35 points, 5 of 6 from three-point range. He also had 5 rebounds and 2 blocks in the Game 1 win. But do expect improvement in one area for Wemby tonight, says ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
I know he's going to be better on the glass. 5 rebounds is unacceptable in his standard, and, he's going to have double digits in that aspect. The crazy thing is, for his first playoff game, you have 35, and you're going to continue to grow because they're going to go and watch film. That's what you need to expect.
Kendrick Perkins on Unsportsmanlike. Rockets forward Kevin Durant, knee injury, game time decision for Game 2 against the Lakers tonight. He missed the Game 1 loss with that injury. NFL Rams receiver Puka Nacua will be a full participant in the team's offseason program, according to coach Sean McVay. Earlier this month, Nacua's attorney told the California Post that he spent part of the offseason in rehab.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, everyone believes A.J. Brown will be a Patriot after June 1st. So will the Eagles be able to find his replacement in this year's draft? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll talk to Ben McDonald here in about half an hour from right now. In 1 hour, so you have to leave, come back, or catch it on demand. We're talking about Spencer Rattler. There's a new report out there about Rattler potentially being a trade target throughout the draft. So I want to dive into that. Something we have talked about, kind of talked about it around the time the Saints signed Zach Wilson, but we'll circle back to that again in 1 hour from right now. How about it? Will Wade's got a basketball player. All right, let's go. Let's go. They're not going to be playerless for next season. I actually checked. Can confirm. It is a requirement. You have to have players on your team in order to play a game. So they're going to have players. Okay. Rim shot. Thank you. All right, there we go. It's a requirement. Got to have players. So they'll have players. They'll fill their roster, obviously. I'm not one that is going to freak out about this taking time. We kind of talked about it and compared it to what Lane Kiffin did as he was making his way through the portal cycle. It just took time, man. They had visitors, and then ultimately, you work through the money component of it all, and you still have a lot of guys that have options. Like we've talked about Alan Graves. He's a guy who's got options to go into the portal and go to a different place. It's going to be LSU Duke, or maybe he goes into the NBA draft. So you go through the draft circuit, you go through the combine, see what the draft feedback will be. They got time. But they did finally land a player, and it's a familiar name, should be a familiar name to SEC basketball fans. So Mo Diabate has picked the Tigers. Now, interestingly enough, they have still not yet gotten Mo Diabate's paperwork done because LSU has not officially announced Mo Diabate. But he's committed and everyone's got it and all that sort of stuff. So if you're not familiar with Mo Diabate, started his career at Alabama, where he played for 2 seasons. This year, transferred to Kentucky, so he played for Mark Pope this 1 year at Kentucky. And now, in his 4th season in college, will be playing on his 3rd different SEC school. 2 seasons at Bama, 1 at Kentucky, and now joining LSU. So, Diabate is from Queens, New York. He's 6'7", 220, and he's a guy that's played a lot of basketball. Throughout his 3 years, he has played in 101 basketball games. He has started just 10. So he has been an athletic, energy post player who can give you some help on the glass, is not going to be a big scoring threat, but largely is a guy that's just going to give you a post presence, alter some shots, grab some rebounds, and give you a lot of energy off the bench. So as a freshman in the 23-24 season at Bama, he played just 7 minutes a game. As a sophomore, more than doubled that, 16 minutes a game off the bench. Didn't start a single game in 2 years at Alabama. Goes to Kentucky, in theory, with the idea of playing more. Well, his minutes went up to 21.6 minutes per game. Started 10 times in the 31 games that he played. So he did start 10 times, but that was just a third of Kentucky's games this year. So Diabate's played a ton of basketball. I love the fact that he's a veteran SEC big. I love the fact that he's played in 101 games. All 3 years that he's been in college, he's also played in the NCAA tournament, something that clearly is lacking at LSU. And the fact that he is he's an energy guy, a good vibes guy. You hear his teammates at both Alabama and Kentucky talk about him, they'll say the same thing. Both places where Diabate's been, he's the kind of guy that'll hustle for a loose ball on the ground and all that sort of stuff, and you need guys like that, especially if you're trying to instill a new culture with that buy-in. So Mo Diabate, the first member of Will Wade's 2026-2027 basketball team. I also think it's interesting that Will Wade started by adding a high major transfer coming in from Kentucky in Diabate, because you look at Matt McMahon, and not to say that this is good, bad, right, wrong, it's just different. Matt McMahon recruited a lot of mid-majors, right? Just look at this past year. Yes, you had Mike Nwoko from Mississippi State, but the other programs you recruited from this portal class were Portland, Northeastern, UC Davis, Omaha, UNLV, and Memphis. So you went with a lot of Matt McMahon, maybe it felt like, was very comfortable recruiting mid-majors because that's where he came from. He knew that style of basketball. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, DJ Thomas was a guy anybody in the country wanted. Now he's going to Houston. And you had guys clearly that could play at this level. I mean, Max McKinnon acquitted himself very nicely. But there were other guys who didn't live up to what you expected. If you get a sample of 101 games played against SEC competition, like Mo Diabate, you have a much better sense of how that guy is going to fare in the SEC. So Will Wade gets it started by adding a guy from the SEC, and maybe, just maybe, sort of reignite that Will Wade-Nate Oates rivalry by adding a former member of the Alabama Crimson Tide, who will now be wearing the purple and gold. So 1 down, 14 to go for Will Wade and his staff as they try to rebuild this roster that, until Diabate committed, had quite literally 0 scholarship players. Now they have 1. As they keep coming through, we'll tell you more about them. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Hey, Rouse's had their truckload sale going on. Remember, you can get on by Rouse's. You can always take advantage of the great deals at Rouse's. Always encourage you to look for the Rouse's branded products as well. Look for that Rouse's logo on any of those Rouse's branded products, and you'll know they go to great lengths to source locally whenever they can over at Rouse's. The official supermarket of the Saints, it's Rouse's. Get by your favorite or nearest Rouse's location. They still have crawfish boiled in-house every single day. Every Tuesday is Sushi Tuesday. All that hand-rolled sushi at all Rouse's locations. Grab and go, whatever your favorite flavor is. They got it over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Tuesday edition of AFR. We'll get to Ben McDonald a little less than 20 minutes from right now. Looking forward to that conversation. If you missed it, Jay Johnson did confirm Cooper Moore out for the season. He will have surgery on that arm injury. Kind of got a little angry at him. The arm did. The arm got angry at Moore. Moore didn't get angry at anybody. It's kind of how. Actually, can you play that one? This was Jay, number 2. This was Jay kind of explaining that setback.
He just didn't recover as well from the midweek throwing like I had talked about. Like he threw the pin and then threw again, and then it was kind of barking at him. We got a second opinion. This is what we got in the opinion, so we're going to get that taken care of ASAP, get him back for next year.
So Moore will be back next season for LSU, or they anticipate he will be back for next season. Jake Brown, however, the news, not good. He broke his hamate bone, surgery. He'll miss the remainder of the season, and obviously Jake Brown is a day one draft pick. So Jake Brown's career at LSU, for all intents and purposes, is over, barring something dramatically unforeseen. But I can't really put together a scenario where Jake Brown would return. As we look at the MLB draft is so different. Just as a reminder, every team in Major League Baseball has a slot value, a bonus pool that they can use to draft in the top 10 rounds. So like the Pirates have the most money. The Pirates can spend $19.137 million in bonus pool money. The Rays are next with $19.009 and so on. And so every pick in the top 10 rounds has a corresponding value, right? So even if you say, like, let's say hypothetically, Jake Brown drops in a round 2. Okay, let's say because you have the competitive balance rounds, and then you have something called the prospect promotion incentive pick, and all different types of anyway. But let's say you go into round 2, which the first pick of round 2 is the Rockies at pick 38. That slot value is $2.6 million. Let's say you go to the very last pick of round 2, which is the Brewers at pick 66. Slot value is $1.3 million. Like, LSU can't pay that equivalent in NIL rev share for one player. So, and I don't think Jake Brown's fallen all the way to 66. I think he's going much higher than 66. So the point being, like, you're talking about a guy that's going to get most likely north of $2 million. So he's going to go and should go. So for all intents and purposes, yes, Jake Brown's LSU career, while not officially, is unfortunately over. All right, it's after further review. Let's now get a quick break. Come back. LSU football added a commitment on Monday night. Quick thought on that. And Lane Kiffin met with reporters after practice today. Hit some of the highlights of what Lane had to say. We'll do it next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Actually, I'm heading over to Renaissance a week from Thursday, and really excited to get over there. So not this Thursday, but next, because they are about to unveil a new menu, an updated menu at Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. So I remind you all the time about Tallulah. Tallulah, this is not a hotel restaurant. A lot of times, man, we've all been to hotel restaurants before where it's just, bar food or grab and go or whatever. No. Tallulah is a casual upscale dining experience. It's incredible. I'm excited to go try the new menu items a week from Thursday. But listen, if you're just knocking off at work, you can always pop into Tallulah right there at the Renaissance. Beautiful indoor-outdoor flow. Great whiskey selection, wine list, all that good stuff. Great place to have a business lunch, conveniently located right there in Bluebonnet near I-10. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know hard work starts with the right equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor with loader for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, this is the tractor built to get it done. Don't wait. This offer ends April 30th, 2026. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She's the only one who really understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Remember, over at Sunshine, they sell small construction equipment as well. Not just lawnmowers and ag. Oh, yeah. Agriculture, they got you, man. Tractors, your combines, all the stuff. But they got your zero-turn mowers, your gators. They do have small construction equipment as well over at Sunshine. Your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana, sunequip.com, sunequip.com, title sponsor of our Tuesday shows all throughout the year. Lane Kiffin met with reporters on Tuesday after practice, and I think it was notable as there's a few practices left here in spring. But it also comes at a time where Lane, you can tell, as we learn him and he learns us, the people who he stares at him in press conference and meeting rooms all the time, you can tell that he is getting a little more comfortable in the whole processes as everything's playing out, from transitioning this part of his life, moving to Baton Rouge, and not to say that he was ever uncomfortable, right? I mean, he jumped right in with the parades and all the things that we saw, but he even talked about just sort of learning and starting to get everything around Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I actually had a former player today who moved back here after playing in the NFL a long time, and he said to me, he's like, okay, we went to 6 different places. Actually, was here with Saban, and then at the Dolphins with Saban. And he's like, we moved back here because the people here. And that does now make sense to me. Not to use it again, it's different. It's just a different feeling. It's like it's a combination, and I'll get criticized, I'm sure, for this. It's like the deep South, nice and caring, with a little bit of edge, too, and edge, I mean, a passion of like wanting to win and how can we help win, and so it's unique. But again, like the recruits feel that. Like in these Sunday meetings when I sit with them and they're on the couch and the parents and they talk about how much they enjoyed the town and the people at restaurants coming up to them and the diversity, and so I'm starting to get it.
I don't know it definitively, but I bet that was Donnie Jones. Again, I don't know that definitively. I didn't see Donnie at practice today, but Donnie played for Nick Saban at LSU and then was drafted by Seattle, then went to Miami, where he played for Saban at Miami, and then played for the Rams, Texans, Eagles, Chargers. So, fits. Might have been Donnie. But yes, it does make sense. And I think that probably resonates with a lot of folks. The other thing that clearly has changed is recruiting. Because Lane Kiffin showed up he got here on a Sunday night. He was introduced on a Monday. 48 hours later, after that introductory press conference, was the December signing period. And so he had some guys that were already committed for the former staff, and some of those commitments were not honored. And he had guys that had been committed to him at Ole Miss that flipped. You think about guys like Ryan Moret, Corey Barber. I mean, they did a lot of work, to get that 2026 signing class, what remained of it, the dozen or so that they got in that early signing period. Maybe it was about 14, I think, maybe. But clearly, as he's been here now, out of the whirlwind of that initial signing period and going into the February signing period now, starting to put together his first full class, Lane talked about the recruiting component, and something he sort of touched on a few times here and there.
It feels completely different. I actually just had this conversation with the staff. I feel like now we recap the weekend and we're at full strength. Everybody's here. We know the people in the building. We have all our coaches here. They get to see practice also. So it's like now I'm really feeling the recruiting at full strength, and then combining what we do with the branding of LSU and then the response, which has been extremely high level from the recruits and their families, which has been great. When we first got here, we're here a couple days. We don't even have a full staff. We're trying to sign the high school class without even having a full staff. And then even going into the portal and having our coaches going back and forth and not here and then at the other place. Like, that was really challenging. And so a coach said last night, he goes, "Coach, but remember, you weren't full strength and still signed this #1 portal class of elite talent." So that was pretty exciting to think about. Like, we were able to do that and we weren't even at full strength. We didn't even know the building and what we were even selling a little bit. We could sell our systems. We didn't have a feel for Baton Rouge. And now to have the feel for everything, it really feels great. I walked back in the staff meeting Sunday after all the recruits were gone, and I'm like, for all these parents and players to come in here and say what they said today really just excites me about the combination of LSU and us together.
What Lane Kiffin was alluding to there over the weekend was, of course, a dozen official visitors on LSU's campus. And a big weekend. We'll have Shea Dixon on. He's supposed to be with us last hour. We missed Shea. Hopefully he'll be able to hop with us maybe later in the show today or tomorrow. But want to recap that official visit weekend. One thing that did come out of it is LSU got a commitment on Monday night. We'll get to that here in just a second. Let me remind you about Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Say it every day. Kill mold, remove odor. It's their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Parishrestoration.com is the website. Go to the website, fill out the form on the homepage at parishrestoration.com. They'll get in touch. They'll give you an estimate, what it'll cost to dry fog your home, your office building, church, school, doctor's office, workout facility, whatever it is. You want to get rid of mold, you want to get rid of odor, other harmful pathogens, flu, other viruses going around. You want to knock that out? Parish Restoration can help. Just give them a call. Come by. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. As soon as that fog, they'll let it dwell. As soon as it dissipates, boom, you're back in. Clean, sanitized, great smelling. parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. So Lane Kiffin and his staff did pick up a commit, their 4th edition now for the class of 2027, and it is Louisiana athlete out of Cecilia, Braylon Calais, who on the Rivals YouTube channel talked about why he picked LSU Monday night.
I mean, just putting the pieces together, Lane Kiffin and his offense, what they building. I just want to be back a part of why LSU, everybody was scared to play him, you feel what I'm saying? So just seeing me line up along with all the other players that's going there to help me, I just feel like it was the best bet, best fit.
Yeah. So we talked about Calais a good bit here. He's a guy who is from Cecilia, just under 6'2", 200 pounds, so a bigger wide receiver, an athlete in high school, kind of at a place like Cecilia. You're that much of a stud. You do kind of everything. So he is, but LSU's recruiting him as a receiver. He's a consensus 4-star in the a composite 4-star, I should say. The number 185 player nationally, the 5th best athlete in the country, the 6th best player in Louisiana. So a guy that has offers from everybody, and interestingly enough, like we talked about a day ago, was being recruited to Ole Miss. It was kind of an LSU-Ole Miss battle, and he's being recruited to Ole Miss. His primary recruiter was George McDonald. His secondary recruiter was Charlie Weiss. So the two guys that were his primary recruiters at Ole Miss that were really the challenger to LSU are now at LSU. So this felt very much like a no-brainer. And so when you see LSU right now and where they stand, I think this is so interesting because LSU has just 4 commits for the 2027 class. It's Jaden Bryant, the 5-star edge out of South Carolina, who is the number 29 overall player in the country. Peyton Houston, quarterback out of Evangel, who's number 106 nationally. Calais, who we mentioned here, who's number 185. And then Amari Stevens, who committed on Friday at number 271. LSU has just those 4 commitments, but even with just those 4 commitments, LSU is the 10th highest ranked signing or recruiting class in the country. So for some context, if you look at the other classes right now that are ranked ahead of LSU, Texas A&M is the number 1 class in America. They got 12 commitments. LSU got 4. Texas Tech is second with 7 commitments. Oklahoma's 3 with 20. Southern Cal, 11. Ohio State, 10. Georgia, 8. Florida, 7. Notre Dame, 8. Oregon, 8. LSU, 4. Quality over quantity right now. And when, as we've talked about ad nauseum, the top-tier players in Louisiana for this 2027 class, if you're able to land these prospects from Louisiana and the guys that you are targeting, you will be in the running for the number 1 class in America. I mean, you are thought to be the leader for Joshua Dobson, who's the number 1 cornerback in the country, the number 9 overall player. Easton Royals, the number 10 overall player, is a wide receiver out of New Orleans you're trying to flip. Albert Simeon's the number 14 player in the country, the interior offensive lineman out of Sam Houston and Lake Charles. Ahmad Hudson's the number 16 player in the country out of Ruston, and you're the leader there. Point being, there's some top 15 overall, top 20 overall players in the country where LSU is leading. For a handful of these guys, you land them, you're going to have a pretty special class, and Lane Kiffin clearly getting more comfortable along the way with he and his staff. All right, it's after further review. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. About halfway home here on this Tuesday. We're not going to break, come back, talk a little baseball with Ben McDonald. Always appreciate when Big Ben can give us a few minutes. Really rough go of it for the Tigers, and we learn Cooper Moore and Jake Brown are lost for the season. So can the Tigers salvage it? If not, what are they working on over these final 4 weeks? We'll talk about it next with Ben McDonald on AFR.
AFR.
Rev is now Rev Fiber, R-E-V, RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. When we talk about fiber, remember, you were talking about a better product that's more cost-effective and you get better service. Why would you call anybody else? Like, if you have your internet service provider with somebody else right now, it's time to switch to Rev Fiber. They bury the fiber cables under the ground, so because they're buried, you don't have to worry about, like, tree limbs and falling on power lines or storms blowing them over and then knocking you offline. It's one of the benefits of having fiber. The cables are buried. So if they have fiber in your area, it is time to switch to Rev. Call to learn more. They'll save you money. You get better customer service as well from a local company that served Louisiana for 90 years. R-E-V. It's Rev Fiber. Lightning fast internet speeds backed by the power of fiber. RevFiber.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Bayou Ford has the new 25 Ford F-150 Lariat truck with $12,000 off MSRP, plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She says she's got a dream, and I ask what it is. She wants a little farm and a yard full of kids.
It's been a rough season for LSU baseball, obviously, and now they're dealing with two unfortunate season-ending injuries. Cooper Moore, Jake Brown, they'll shut him down for the season. I bet McDonald's going to have to join us for a couple minutes. As I understand, live from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Let's go, man. You got to see a good view of the fountain out there, Ben?
Yeah, man, it's beautiful here. They've ordered up some really good weather for us. It's sunshiny. It's about 77 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. And so to be in Kansas City in April and get this weather, it's certainly a blessing. So, yeah, it's a beautiful ballpark, and we're a couple hours away from game time here.
My sister and her family, they live on the Kansas side of the state line in Kansas City. So they're not far from you, man. They make it to Kauffman a good bit. So glad to hear the weather is nice. Glad to hear the weather's nice over there. Hey, not so nice, obviously, with what LSU's dealing with. Hey, Ben, have you ever heard of this thing that Cooper Moore's got? He's having the Ulcranon procedure, the stress fracture of the bone at the tip of the elbow. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of stress fractures in pitchers' arms in various places, but I've never heard it said like that. So I'm not sure exactly what that was. So from what you're telling me, it had nothing to do really with the ligament. The Tommy John ligament is fine. It's more of a stress fracture, is what it sounds like.
Correct, yeah.
Right. Well, that's a good thing. Typically, the stress fractures, you come back from, you're healthy. Obviously, it takes a while, but the silver lining of that is, if Cooper Moore decides to hang around, he's going to be back for next year for LSU. So you may get all three of your weekend rotation pieces back, which would be huge for LSU next year.
Yeah. What was your impression, Ben, of Cooper Moore up until the point in the season when he made 6 starts before he was shut down? What was your impression of him at the time he got shut down?
I thought he had a chance to be the most consistent starter LSU had. And the reason I say that, Matty, is because he was a control and command guy. Like, he really commanded the strike zone. He did last year in college. He was doing it this year. I think he had 39 strikeouts, only 7 walks. And we know how many walks LSU's pitching staff has this year. While they could really strike you out, and, they're leading the nation again for the 3rd consecutive year in strikeouts, the walks and the hit-by pitches have been, is what's really done them in. And he was the guy in that rotation I felt like could go out there every time and really make the other team beat him, And so he's a big loss because I felt like he really had a good understanding of how to use this stuff and how to pitch. And so that's a big loss for LSU. There's no doubt about that.
Ben, it's not gone well, and people have tried to compare to what happened 2 seasons ago when LSU started 3-12 in conference play and then got hot at the end of the season, went 10-5 in the second half. The difference is LSU had Holman and Jump at the front of their rotation. They were great. Well, this year, Evans and Schmidt, Ben, they got really good stuff. It just hasn't really manifested into great results. I'll just ask a very simple question. Why?
That's a great question. No, I'll say this about William Schmidt. If you go back and look at what he did last year in SEC play, I think the ERA was 27. Like, he really struggled in conference play. So I feel like, I know William Schmidt had a bad outing his last time out, but before that I thought he'd been really pretty solid, and I was pretty pleased with the jump he took. His numbers are really, really good. He's got a lot of strikeouts. He's got a few more walks than what he'd like to have. The stuff is there for him, and I feel like he's throwing more strikes this year than what he did last year, pitching in more leverage-type situations. The perplexing one is Evans for me, you know, and I remember telling people that being a reliever is not close to being the Friday night guy in SEC play. When you go through the lineup once, or maybe you come in, you get 5 outs or 6 outs, it's totally different than having to go through the lineup 2 or 3 times. It's just not the same. And his command has not been great. I mean, the last LSU game I did was game 1 against Oklahoma. And if I remember correctly, dude, he was like, I thought, okay, this is the coming out party. This is when he's going to get going. He punched out 15, I think it was. He walked one. I went, okay, I don't expect you to be that good every time, but maybe this is going to be the point where he becomes a little bit more consistent. And he's flashed it from time to time, but it's just not been great for him this year. And look, to go to the Friday night role, it's tough, as you know. I mean, it's really tough in the SEC. And what you have to learn as young pitchers is how to bend a little bit and not break. In other words, give up 1 in an inning, but don't give up the crooked number 3 or 4. And it feels like that's what's kind of plagued Casey Evans this year, is his ability not to stop the bleeding in some ways. And again, that is a learned trait. It takes some reps. It takes some time to kind of figure that out. If you would have tell me next year he'd be an All-American next year, I would believe you. I think he has that kind of stuff. It's just not been a great year for him. And look, you look around with the Tigers this year, they've really not played well in any phase of the game. You know, I mean, the defense, I mean, don't forget, I mean, the LSU set a program record last year in fielding. It was the best fielding team in LSU history last year. And I think they were a top 10 team overall fielding percentage, and they've been one of the worst this year. A lot of unearned runs, and I think it's the 15th out of 16th in the SEC. So, look, when you walk a lot of batters, you put a lot of batters on, and your defense isn't great, it leads to giving up a lot of runs. And obviously the pitching has been an issue this year.
Ben, how much better can Casey Evans get in the next 4 weeks?
Wow. Yeah, well, we all hope as LSU fans he gets a lot better and he gets a little bit more consistent. You know, I mean, this is a good test for him. I mean, he's never been punched in the mouth before. I'll say that. I mean, he came out and he was as good of a freshman as we've seen. You know, I'm talking about high leverage moments, closing out games on the road in the SEC, a couple of starts that were pretty good last year. But I think if he can find a way to kind of just flush what's going on this far and get back to worry about just trying to be consistent and get the ball over the plate and let his stuff work, I think he can take a jump forward. You know, and then look, that's what it's going to take for LSU. Obviously, they're working uphill. At 6-12 in the SEC, but the schedule they got to play, man. You got State this weekend. Now, South Carolina, you're going to have to try to sweep South Carolina. That's hard to do. Then you got Georgia and Florida, who are really, really good teams, you know. And if you look at LSU, the strength of schedule is good right now. I think it's at 22 the last time I worked, and it's going to get better from there with the teams they have to play. But they're sitting way back at like 67 in the RPI right now. So they've got to win some ball games. And we know, I mean, you got to get to 13 wins in the SEC, maybe 14 wins to get in. So that's what LSU's got to be hunting, which means they've got to really get hot in a hurry, and that's going to be hard to do with the teams that they're playing and the losses of Jake Brown, of course, and Cooper Moore.
Yeah. Ben McDonald is with us. One more arm I want to ask you about, Ben, for a very specific reason. It's Maverick Rizzi. And you and I have talked about this in the past over the years about the challenges of tall pitchers finding that consistency. What are you seeing with Maverick Rizzi, who's got undeniable ability but just hasn't been able to put it together?
Yeah, I see his mechanics aren't as consistent as he wants them to be every time. And again, that's not unusual for guys that are as tall, 6'8". I mean, we saw Chase Shore struggle a little bit, remember, early in his year, and then he kind of figured it out late in the year. Of course, in Omaha, he was really good. He was a 6'8" guy too, you know. And so it's hard, man. It's hard when you're that long and tall. The average big league pitcher is right at 6'3". That's almost the perfect height. When you start getting 6'5", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", it's tough because you get a little out of sync over the top of the rubber. It becomes a lot of out of sync by the time that ball gets that 60 feet, 6 inch mark, you know. And so it's all about consistency. The good news for him is the stuff's there. We can't really teach stuff, but then maybe they can cheer him up and get the mechanics going in the right direction for him, because I really thought he was a kid that was ready to take a jump this year. I really felt like with a little bit of experience he got last year that he was going to take a jump, and he just has fought. And then, look, he has flashed it at times this year like a lot of the pitchers have. It's just about the consistency of the stuff. And in this game that we play, consistency wins at the end of the day.
Couple more minutes here with Ben McDonald. Ben, by the way, you'll be on the call this weekend in Starkville?
Yeah, I haven't had an LSU game since the Oklahoma game, so I'll be going over to Stark Vegas for that one. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then I'll have a midweek game on Tuesday with Southeastern and LSU with old Lynn Rollins. That'll be my last 2 regular season games of the year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a lot of fun. Get away from the big league game for a few days and then get right back after it.
Well, always love hearing you on the call, man. I would love a thought, if you could, on this state team, what you know about them, if you've had a chance to see much of them, and what LSU's up against, as you just talked about, really in a desperate situation, kind of starving for SEC wins now.
Yeah, I mean, Mississippi State is back on the map. And, to take you back, it is not – and you know that it's not uncommon for teams to back up a little bit since we're talking about Mississippi State. I mean, I'll take you back a few years ago. Ole Miss won a national title, went totally off the grid for 2 years. Mississippi State won a national title, went totally off the grid for a couple of years. Couldn't even make the SEC tournament or the NCAA tournament. And so it's not uncommon. We don't expect it to happen to LSU, but it has happened. So it's not uncommon. Even Tennessee won their first ever national title, and they did make postseason play, but it's not like they were a great team the following year either. So this is not uncommon for LSU fans. We don't expect it. And look, there's a lot going on, and, Jay missed on some portal kids, it looks like to me, and some kids he thought was going to come in and perform well, and it's just not happened. So it's been one of those kind of years, and so I feel for Jay, because the care factor with Jay Johnson is off the charts. Like, he really cares, and I feel horrible for him because it looks like he's aged 8 years, in the last 2 months, it feels like, but he'll get it cleaned up. And I'll tell all the fans out there at LSU, it may not be LSU's year this year, but if I know LSU, if I was a bet man, I'm not, I would bet everything on LSU next year, because if I know Jay Johnson, he'll be on that airplane and he'll have a bag of money, and it's going to be hell to pay next year, because Jay Johnson's it's not going to happen again to Jay Johnson. So it's going to be a fun year. And here's the other piece of that, Matty, and I don't want to piss LSU fans off, but there's been some rumors about NIL and not funding the baseball program, and maybe potentially it got cut a little bit. But the NIL stuff has to get figured out for Jay Johnson and LSU baseball. And I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but the way I look at this is the one sport that LSU has where you feel like you got a real shot year in and year out, for the most part, to win a national championship is baseball at LSU. And I hope Lane Kiffin does a great job. I know there's $40 million out there, and Mosquito does a great job. And gymnastics, they do a great job, and so on and so forth. But the one program that should be funded, in my opinion, at the very top level in the country is LSU baseball. And if it's not, it needs to be adjusted, because I don't want to lose Jay Johnson. If Tony Vitello does well with the Giants, Jay Johnson, I'm telling you right now, will be the next guy Major League Baseball comes calling for. He will be the next guy. And if we can't fund Jay Johnson and give him one of the top NIL budgets in the entire country, LSU will lose Jay Johnson. And I don't want to see that happen, because for me, Matt, he is the best coach in the country with everything that he does. And so I don't want to get on my chair and just go nuts here, but I'm just hearing some weird things. I don't know, there was a meeting between Burge and Jay Johnson. I heard it went really well, and so that's a good thing for next year. But it needs to be addressed. If LSU's not at the top, and they aren't from what I've been told, they're not even in the top 4 in the SEC play, and they should be, it needs to be fixed.
Hear, hear. By the way, Ben, when you're in big league ballparks, what is the? I didn't intend to go this path, but what is the scuttle on Vitello and the possibility of more college coaches following that path?
Well, I mean, I'll give the Giants a lot of credit. They, Buster Posey, the GM over there, kind of thinking outside the box. They felt like they needed to change things up, and it's a new world in Major League Baseball with the analytical world and the way they think now. It's not the old school approach where you had to play the game to be a manager, or you even had to. We got analytical people. We got even coaches that never really coached anywhere before that's up here in this analytical world. And I'll even take it a step further. They used to pick on the college coaches for calling the pitches, in the college game. They said, oh, that's the worst thing in the world many years ago. You can't do that. Well, guess what? There's 2 Major League teams right now that are calling the pitches from the bench right now. So the more they picked on the college game many years ago about the coaches and the way the game was played, well, guess what? We got 2 Major League teams that are calling pitches from the dugout now with the pitching coaches, and we've got a guy that was a head coach in college ball that's now a big league manager with no experience at the big league level at all. So the game is shifting, and that's what I'm trying to say for Jay Johnson. Like, the rumor I'm hearing is if it slips up around LSU, he'll be the next guy that Major League Baseball is going to come calling for.
Ben McDonald, have a great call tonight. I see the Royals lost 8 straight, man. See if the Birds can go get one tonight.
They're on the struggle bus, and the Orioles haven't been playing well. We won a 12-inning game here last night, and hopefully it's a little bit shorter. Maybe it's just a 9-inning win tonight for the Orioles. So it's early in the year, but it's fun. It's big league baseball, so we'll see what happens.
Ben McDonald, thanks for the time as always, Ben.
Anytime, buddy. Take care.
All right, we'll see. It's after further review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. I got a text earlier today from the Williamson Eye Center telling me, I hear it. Where is it? Somewhere in here. There it is. Hello, Matt. It's Williamson Eye Center. Our record indicated it's time for your next eye exam. I guess I got a schedule. Tell you, it's eye care, eyewear, and eye surgery. The eye care part, you can have your annual eye exam. Eyewear, if you wear contacts or glasses, they can update your prescription, fill your prescription. And eye surgery, if you want to get rid of the contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center, they have a refractive procedure that will keep you out of contacts and glasses forever. But it starts with being brave enough to pick up the phone and go schedule that appointment to see Dr. Blake Williamson. Locations all over Greater Baton Rouge. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Yeah, I didn't think Ben would, I didn't think our conversation with Ben was going to go that route. But I get it. I mean, this guy played at LSU, loves LSU, wants LSU to be great. I think it's the thing we all fear is Jay having a wandering eye. I mean, you have this, and I don't know, maybe part of it's rooted in the fact that we saw it with Saban, right? I mean, you had the greatest coach ever. You know, we didn't know at the time he was the greatest coach ever, but certainly didn't want him to leave. And he had a wandering eye, and he went to the pros. You can't help but wonder, could Jay Johnson potentially look at the same path? He got a lot of people's attention. I'll tell you this much about Jay, and I don't mean to go long here, but Ben kind of stoked my interest in this conversation again. I believe Jay Johnson would love to coach, would be the head coach of the LSU baseball program for the rest of his career, however long that is, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, however long Jay wants to coach. I believe he would want to be the head coach of LSU baseball. That is his desire. I also believe that even more than being the head coach at LSU baseball, what Jay Johnson desires is to win all the time. And if he feels like he does not have the resources to do so, is when he would look to go somewhere where he could win all the time. So I think that conversation will clearly carry on throughout the offseason. But in the meantime, Tigers have a game tonight against UNO. They'll be in Starkville this weekend. We appreciate Ben McDonald for a few minutes. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll go Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Okay, we're counting down the final few days of April, which means it's the final few days to enter the Gordon's Grads laptop giveaway. Today is April the 21st, so yeah, a little more than a week to go. GordonsGrads.com, GordonsGrads.com. That's the website, GordonsGrads.com. Been telling you about it for a few weeks now. If you are a graduating high school senior, if you're a Louisiana graduating high school senior, going to a 2 or 4 year trade school, 2 or 4 year college or a trade school, you are eligible to win one of 15 laptops from Gordon McKernan as part of his Gordon's Grads program, one of the many different philanthropic ways Gordon gives back every single year. So if you're interested or know someone who is, send them that link so they can find out how to enter. You can do an essay or a video, different ways you can enter. You get all the info there at GordonsGrads.com. That's GordonsGrads.com. The end of April is the last day to enter, GordonsGrads.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Could the Saints trade Spencer Rattler? Not a new question, but it's been brought up again with the draft a couple of days away. We'll dive into that here in about a dozen minutes from right now. But right now, Muso as Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
A little bit of a lighter slate in Major League Baseball on Monday night, but some former Tigers were in action. Jake Fraley getting the start in right field for the Tampa Bay Rays, goes 1 for 3. That was a double, his fourth of the season. Actually came off former Wake Forest pitcher Rhett Lauder. They're getting the start for the Reds. Fraley would also draw a walk in the ballgame. He's been kind of part of a platoon out there in the outfield for the Tampa Bay Rays. They took the loss 6-1. Oh, it was a rough night for Alex Lang out there against the Orioles in Kansas City. Ben McDonald was just with us, mentioned a 12-inning game. It was Lang that got to pitch the 12th, and it was a rough one. 1 inning, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked 1, struck out 2. Second loss of the season for Alex Lang. He's now 0-2 on the year. Royals go for revenge here later tonight. And a pair of former Tigers in action for the second time in about a week or so. Aaron Nola versus Alex Bregman. At least half of that, yeah. Nola, 4 1/3, 5 earned, 4 walks, 5 punch-outs. Took the loss in that one. Now 1-2. Alex Bregman, 2 for 4 on the night. Both of those hits came off of Aaron Nola. Both of them were doubles for Bregman. He also did strike out in the ballgame, and that was also against Aaron Nola. So 2 for 3, couple doubles and a punch out for Bregman against his former LSU teammate in the Cubs. Got the win 5-1. NBA playoff action a night ago. Naz Reid, 27 minutes off the bench, 11 points and 9 boards, near miss on the double-double there, and the Timberwolves got the win. Some NBA action tonight to look forward to. The Sixers trailing 1-0. Trendon Watford will be in action there against the Celtics, and then Tari Eason and the Rockets trail the Lakers 1-0. Game number 2 in L.A. is the late one on the West Coast. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online. southpointvw.com. Tell you all the time, if you want to search, you can go to the website, and every vehicle they have, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. And it's photos of the actual vehicle there on the lot. So go to southpointvw.com. There's a new or a used tab right at the top of the page. Hit it, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. You want to get pre-approved. You want to work out your financing. Do the whole thing there. See whatever features you're looking for. Here's a 2026 Atlas Crossport 2.0 TSEL Premium R-Line. My goodness, you can see that right now at southpointvw.com. See photos of the actual vehicle. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? How about this? Just into my inbox. Of course, the LSU women's, not the women's, the gymnastics team. There's only a women's gymnastics team. It'd be redundant to say the women's gymnastics team. They were part of what is now the most watched gymnastics meet ever on the ESPN networks. So that just came through from the from ESPN. 1.1 million viewers watched the gymnastics finals on Saturday on ABC. So fantastic to watch the growth of the sport. Very cool to see. It peaked at 1.7 million viewers, which is the highest on record. All right, hour number 3 after SportsCenter.
AFR.
And, of course, those gymnasts and the LSU Baseball Tigers and the Football Tigers and every single LSU athlete, they trust Our Lady of the Lake, championship health care partner of LSU athletics. Tigers trust the lake. I trust the lake. You should trust the lake. As a matter of fact, today I was walking into football ops for after practice. So we were leaving the practice field going into football ops, and I saw Dr. Kurt Chastain leaving. Of course, Dr. Chastain is part of the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Clinic, and that's Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group, which that's my primary care physician. Stopped, chatted with him for a little bit. He was there with Mr. Richard Pellerin. So great to see those gents there, and always great to see members of the Our Lady of the Lake and the FMOL Health community, because they continue to expand health care, touching nearly everybody in the state of Louisiana in some way with a hospital, a clinic, something. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Paris brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Paris Construction and Roofing.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. After putting up 35 points in the Game 1 victory, San Antonio center Victor Wembanyama expecting the Blazers to up the physicality to try and limit his effectiveness in Game 2 of that first-round NBA playoff series tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Wemby, though, says he and the Spurs will be ready. Rockets forward Kevin Durant. Game time decision for Game 2 at the Lakers tonight due to a knee injury. As the Mets get ready to welcome back outfielder Juan Soto from a calf injury tomorrow, they'll try and end an 11-game losing streak tonight when they host the Twins. While calls are getting louder for manager Carlos Mendoza to be fired, it's not all on him, notes ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan.
A lot of this is about the construction of the team, though, and let's not forget that they completely flipped the team this offseason. Pete Alonso gone, Brandon Nimmo gone, Jeff McNeil gone, and the players that they've brought in, whether it's Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien, Jorge Polanco, they just haven't performed.
X-rays came back clean on Braves outfielder Ronald Acuna Jr., who was hit by a pitch twice last night. He is scheduled to start tonight versus Washington.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Oh, we missed Shea Dixon in hour number 1. Shea did text. He's going to jump aboard with us here in about 15 minutes from right now. So good to know. Shea is good. Did we set up the Twitter poll, Muse, earlier?
I did set up the Twitter poll earlier, yes. So our Twitter poll earlier was, why didn't Shea Dixon answer his phone this Tuesday?
Yeah.
He's sleeping. He forgot. He's sabotaging the show. He wanted to hear Law & Order LSU. With 46.2% of the vote, sabotaging the show, currently leading.
All right.
Not a lot of faith in Shea from the listeners,
really
man. Golly.
Unfortunate. We'll ask Shea himself here in about a dozen minutes from right now on the next episode of Law & Order LSU. Adam Schefter, just a few days before the draft, has a piece up at ESPN.com where he talked about a lot of the draft storylines, among them trade candidates to watch here with the draft nigh. And he notes those who could gain interest include Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson Sr., Titans quarterback Will Levis, Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler, Kyle Pitts, Kenny Moore, Kayvon Thibodeau, and others that aren't really as important. But interesting there that he notes Spencer Rattler, for what it's worth. Here was Schefter. No, forgive me. This was Mickey Loomis back at the end of the season press conference whenever he was asked point blank about the possibility of Spencer Rattler being traded.
Chris was saying that with Spencer Rattler, because he deserves another opportunity to start. Would you be open to moving him? Did he express an interest in being traded out of?
No, I mean, we're not anywhere in that. We haven't had any kind of discussions about that.
Okay, so that was in January when Mickey Loomis was asked if they would be open to trading Spencer Rattler, so not having any discussions about that, okay? That was January, so it's been 4 months, and so things can change. One very obvious thing that has changed is since then, the Saints have added Zach Wilson. So it does change the dynamic of this conversation, undeniably. Now, I don't have a hard and fast feeling on this today because I think there are a few questions that need to be answered first. So if you are, let me put it to you this way. If the New Orleans Saints are, in fact, interested in trading Spencer Rattler, I think you have to answer 3 questions with varying degrees of certainty and increasing degrees of uncertainty as you go through them. The first question would be, number 1, are you sold on Tyler Shuck as your starter? I think, by and large, we could all agree the Saints are sold on Tyler Shuck as their starter, right? Now, that could change. Tyler Shuck has started 9 NFL games. I'm not suggesting here that definitively he's the franchise, he's the future, he's the now with the potential to be, but undeniably right now, he is your starter. That's not even a debate. So the answer number 1 is yes, they're sold on Tyler Shuck as their starter. They're going to try to build around him. Number 2 is, are you convinced that Rattler is not the guy? So as to say, if you still think there's a chance Spencer Rattler could be your franchise quarterback, then you're not trading him. But if you're convinced all Spencer Rattler is going to be is a good backup in the NFL, then I'm open to this trade. If you're sold on Shuck as your guy, you're convinced Rattler is not the guy. And then the third question, do you think Zach Wilson is a better number 2 option than Spencer Rattler? And if the answer is yes to all 3 of those questions, then I'm totally fine trading Spencer Rattler because you got your guy in Shuck. You don't believe Rattler could be that guy, and you think the guy that you just signed in Zach Wilson is a better number 2 option than the guy you have, then trade the guy you have and get an asset for him. Okay, I'm good with that. And I could play some hypotheticals out for you. And please, I don't need to go litigate Zach Wilson's entire career. We've seen it. He was the number 2 overall pick. It didn't go good. He's bounced around since, gets traded to Denver, never plays. We all know the skinny was Zach Wilson, okay? He's a guy right now in his middle 20s who's been in the league for half a decade, and it just hasn't gone well. He was a franchise quarterback. Now he's a vagabond. Maybe he becomes Sam Darnold. Maybe he becomes Baker Mayfield. More likely, he's just a guy that's going to hold a clipboard for however long someone's going to pay him to hold a clipboard, and then he'll go do TV or whatever else in life. But let's say, hypothetically, Tyler Shuck gets injured. Knock on Formica. Or let's say Tyler Shuck, who was really showed flashes in the second half of last year, the Saints go 1-7 out the gate. And you're like, what happened to the guy that we thought was going to be good? He's not actually good. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm playing a hypothetical. So let's say Shuck stinks. Who would you rather? Zach Wilson or Spencer Rattler? I think there's more unknown with Rattler. I mean, his win-loss record, he didn't win a game as the starting quarterback. So, that is complicated. And because I think if you gave him a healthy roster at the end of 24 when he was starting instead of a practice squad team, then maybe you would have seen different results. But the flip side of that is, well, that's what Tyler Shuck played with the second half of last year and had much better results against the more manageable portion of the schedule. So there's that. But all that to say, I think most people have made up their mind about Zach Wilson, that he'll never be. There's a large enough sample size to know Zach Wilson's never going to be anybody's franchise quarterback. But I would look at recent examples because we would have said the same thing 24 months ago of Sam Darnold. And he went to Minnesota and won 14 games, then went to Seattle and won a Super Bowl. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Zach Wilson. I'm just saying I think this era of quarterbacking in the NFL has taught us probably too early to throw dirt on guys after 3, 4, 5 seasons, especially super talented guys that got thrust into a bad situation early. And the the common denominator with both Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold is they were top 5 draft picks of the Jets who bottomed out. But if the answer of that hypothetical, like let's say Shuck stinks and you got it and you go to your backup, what's a better option, Rattler or Zach Wilson? If the answer is not clearly Rattler, then you trade him if you can get something for him. Because the bottom line is what you are trying to do right now as an organization is build around Tyler Shuck, who you believe, go back to the first question, you're sold that that's your guy, your franchise quarterback. So you're trying to build around him. Well, if getting an asset for Spencer Rattler helps you build around Tyler Shuck, and you can have a young veteran backup in Zach Wilson, who has a lot of playing experience, but it hasn't gone well, but it's probably a better backup option today than Rattler, then I'll take the asset for Rattler that's going to help me build toward the future under Tyler Shuck. What does that look like? I don't know. I mean, Rattler was a 5th-round pick. You're talking about, at best, a day 3 draft pick, a late day 3 draft pick, a 5, 6, 7, whatever that may be. But do you want that asset to help build around your young franchise quarterback, or do you want a guy just sitting on the sideline, potentially battling Zach Wilson in camp for the backup job? Maybe you sign him to the practice squad and you run the risk of having another team sign him to their active roster. I guess my feeling is if you can get something for him, get something for him. We'll see how it plays out this week. Want to keep an eye on, according to Adam Schefter. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com, windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I was talking to Brandon Holly earlier today. Man, I always love talking to Brandon. Love talking about their amazing company. You know, when Eric and I first bought our home, the first home that we had, when we came home with Drew, one of the first things we did was we had them install one of their soundproofing windows in the front of the house because Drew's room faced the street. We wanted to make the room quieter, so we did that. When we moved in the house we're in now, one of the first things we did, we had this beautiful sort of open floor plan with these beautiful windows, this wall of windows that looks out into our back area with the pool and the pond behind the house. And Brandon came in and said, man, we should put picture windows in here to get rid of the pain so you can just have this beautiful view straight out into that outdoor space. It's an awesome suggestion. Of course, we installed the energy-efficient windows, which lowered our energy bills, increased our home's resale value. The point is, if it's windows, doors, siding, shutters, shades, any of it, it's going to increase your home's resale value, make your home more energy efficient, beautify your home, invest in your biggest investment. Relief Windows can help you do it. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We miss Shea Dixon in hour number 1, but he's good enough to jump aboard with us next. So let me knock out a quick break, come back, talk some Cruton with Shea next on AFR.
After Further Review.
I got a call yesterday from my buddy Darren James, and he sent me a testimonial from an AFR listener. And it was hilarious because he actually used the listener used a little bit of language that was awesome, but hilarious too. Effectively, guy's name is Jacques, not Jacques Doucet, Jacques J. And Jacques, who's been listening to AFR for 11 years, was going to sell his home, called a different realtor, had his home listed with another realtor for a year, no movement. Finally decides to call Darren James. It was a Friday night. Guess what? Darren called him back within 20 minutes. Guy said, hey, no problem. You don't need to talk to me on a Friday night. Call me on Monday. Within an hour, Darren had a full-on marketing plan laid out. Well, guess what? The first person that looked at the home bought it. They're under contract. You need results, you need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
Bayou Ford has the new 25 Ford F-150 Lariat truck with $12,000 off MSRP, plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term,
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
We've solved the riddle. Actually, no, we haven't. Let's get the answer right now. Shea Dixon from On3 the Bengal Tiger is with us. Shea, we have a question. So we left it to our audience, and we were asking where you were. Muse, what were our suggestions? What were our choices again?
Was he sleeping?
Yeah.
Did he forget?
Yeah.
Was he trying to sabotage the show?
Ooh.
Or did he want to just hear Law and Order LSU again?
Yeah. All right, Shea. Muse, what did the audience say in the poll?
Sabotage the show led the poll. Yeah. Not a lot of faith in
All right,
Shea. It's tough.
What was the answer?
C would be, I guess, the closest. I decided, you know what, I'd rather drive time than the 3 o'clock hour. So in my every Tuesday, your producer, Moose, sends me a text just confirming, and I'll say yes, and typically he responds, and that'll be the end of it, or he'll thumbs up it. And I just, in my head after today, I thought in my head he had said, "Are you good with 5:15?" Because his response was awesome, as if like I had done y'all a huge solid. So I hearted it and was like, obviously, no problem. Like, no big deal. Like, whatever. So
there it is.
The yard looks good right now. Everything's been trimmed up. And when I came back into the phone, I was like, oh, wait, huh? And then I looked and Moose never said anything about 5:15.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad the yard work got done. I'm sure Emily will be thrilled with that. And it still works out that we get to talk to you. So all's well that ends well. And same would be true for Lane Kiffin in this class as they got the commitment from Braylon Calais. Okay, let's go through it. How did they get this thing done with the 4-star from Cecilia?
Yeah, this is another one that it's been kind of a theme with guys they've certainly been recruiting. And we saw it with Peyton Houston, where they had, and not to the same extent, but with their D-line commit, Jaden Bryant out of South Carolina, he had a connection to Sterling Lucas, who was hired to be the D-line coach. A lot of the staff on offense had been recruiting Braylon to Ole Miss. And whenever they arrived here, he said they made him a massive priority. And we saw George McDonald go out to Cecilia in January during the eval period when coaches could get on the road. And then we saw Kiffin make probably 10, 15 stops at high schools where there were notable guys, largely for this class and some for next year, but Calais was one for this class. So you toss all that together, and then again, he goes to Cecilia. I mean, it's kind of tough to pull kids out of that Acadian area, and he's one where I think even the work done by the old staff, all of it was enough for him to realize, hey, LSU is a spot I want to be, and picks LSU over Ole Miss and a handful of others that were involved here. But I think at the end of the day, look, he's committing before even doing official visits, much like a Peyton Houston when you're the second Louisiana guy into the class now. And Braylon, it's just one of those things where a large part of your recruitment is staying home to play at LSU.
All right, Shea, so that's a big get, fourth commit now for 2027. But it was a giant weekend with like a dozen official visitors. Let's go through it. How did the weekend go on campus with the OVs?
Great, I guess you would say. I mean, they at one point had a 10 planned, then 15, and then it trimmed down to 12. And at the same time, you had Peyton Houston back, who was not an official but unofficial visit, and you had Josh Dobson drop in, who is a 5-star corner, Corey Raymond's number 1 target this cycle from over in the Carolinas. He just swung through for an unofficial visit. So you put that together with having 12 guys on campus, and yes, the biggest storyline is you got to commit out of it. Amari Stevens. I think the second biggest storyline, or the kind of 1A to 1B, would be nearly half, maybe 5 of the 12 were O linemen. And I think that's one area that Brian Kelly is going to be serious. God, like that slipped right out. Lane Kiffin will be serious about recruiting moving forward, because yes, you can go to the portal every year, but we're seeing it right now with the D line. I mean, Deuce Gerald's is making an instant impact in these practices, putting himself in a position to maybe start, but certainly contribute. Richard Anderson is in that group. Lamar Brown hasn't even showed up to campus yet. We saw Trenton Henderson make some plays at that edge spot in the spring scrimmage this past Saturday. So just knowing that, hey, look, we can't rely every year on getting Jordan Seaton or a guy like Ball and hoping he works out really well and that he stays healthy and maybe even elevates his play from where he was at Maryland. It's the guys that you can develop, much like Devin Harper, who's been in the mix, right, at guard. That was a guy they signed at Ole Miss. So I really think they want to shoot for the stars here, Matt. And Calais doesn't get any bigger than bringing in an O-line group where most of the group was ranked in the top 1 or 2 at offensive tackle or interior offensive line.
Did they make any movement, Shea, as best you could tell, with any of the guys that were here?
Yeah, I think they made a big splash. Look, the one in-state guy was Simeon, and he's got some visits ahead. And he said, look, my time with the staff, he called it enlightening. And we've talked about this before, you and I, of there's so much more that goes into these visits than checking out the campus and the facilities and NIL or any of that. It's for a guy like Albert Simeon, these O-linemen. There's new O-line coaches. Really, there's 2 of them, if you're counting Walford and James Craig. A whole new offensive scheme, a new head coach, someone who does things very differently than Brian Kelly did. And Simeon had sort of been entrenched into that Brian Kelly, hey, this is where my recruitment started feeling. And he said these visits for him to LSU are all about getting to know the new staff, what they want out of an offensive, an interior offensive lineman, what they see in him. But look, they brought in the big guns. They had Will Campbell down there. He was hanging out with Simeon and a lot of the offensive linemen. And he said that was cool to kind of get his view of going through the recruitment as a Louisiana guy and to LSU. And then for that whole group, they just talked about picking Campbell's brain about being at LSU and moving on to the NFL. And look, I'll give you, they had border state guys from Kennedy Brown, who's a 5-star in Texas, Caden Moss, who is a 4-star in Mississippi, number 3 interior offensive lineman, Simeon being the number 2 one. So 2 of the 3 of top interior offensive linemen in the country, guards and centers, were on campus this weekend together. Kennedy Jackson over in Georgia. All these guys spoke so highly of the visit, but go all the way up to the Pennsylvania guy who visited this weekend, and four-star offensive lineman Terrence Smith. He's a kid who made his way down out of Lansdale Catholic in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. He's a top 20 interior offensive lineman. He's got offers from coast to coast. And he said, look, between the relationship I have with Eric Wolford, but then kind of meeting him in person and having a longer weekend time to spend with him than just a quick visit, jumped out at me. Said Lane Kiffin is one of those things that stood out about the trip just because of how active he was with the team and around the team on the weekend and with the recruits. And when he said, kind of talking to Chad Simmons at Rivals about, hey, look, you've got all these teams of interest and you've got a handful of officials. And this was the first weekend the NCAA allowed official visits. And so for these guys, it was the very first one. And he said, look, LSU set the bar very high. He said it was one of those where I might be from far away. I know I've got Penn State, those Michigan, Ohio State teams like that closer to home recruiting me. But all of the while, he said LSU really got that group together and made them feel like a priority on the O-line. And for those guys, it was big on development. And I mentioned Will Campbell, but Eric Wolford and James Craig are two O-line coaches. Both of them have coached in the SEC for a while. Both of them have coached in the NFL. So when they're able to kind of pitch to recruits, hey, look, we've had the experience of coaching guys at both of these levels that you're trying to get to and go through. That's a pretty nice 1-2 punch for an O-line coach and a quote unquote assistant O-line coach who just happened to be your O-line coach last time you won a national championship here.
He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Shea, the other two interior offensive linemen, Kennedy Brown from Texas, Caden Moss from Mississippi, both in the Rivals industry ranking, the projections are trending toward other places, Brown to A&M, Moss to Ole Miss. Does it feel like LSU's got a shot to nab either one of those border state guys?
I think that both could be in play here. Look, Caden Moss is a kid who obviously the Ole Miss staff on offense had recruited him on the offensive line, so they picked that one up. And LSU has a number of guys in the personnel department who have Mississippi connections, so they've been on Caden Moss for a long time. And that's one where you're trying to pry him out of the state. Bama, other teams are going to be involved that are border state and trying to get into Mississippi. But I think one thing that he said, something that we've talked about a good bit, obviously, but these recruits are starting to see it and notice it, is he said, hey, look, I've been on a lot of visits already. This was one where it was really run like a pro organization, like from practice to watching film to getting treatment. I mean, he said it was all so nuanced and structured to the point where everything kind of felt like it would if you were a part of a professional football team. He was like, this is how they lined it up for that exact reason. And again, as a border state kid, he's going to look at LSU and put it in his mind as, hey, look, this isn't going far from home for me. So that's one I'd keep an eye on. And Kennedy Jackson, the same. I mean, he was one that really raved about Eric Wolford and said, hey, he's a guy just watching him coach that room. He said that he could tell he could develop him and even said, hey, look, this was an exact quote. He showed me in these different ways. I've been through Bama, Kentucky here. He can develop me in ways that other programs around the SEC can't. And it's kind of just a pitch to him. And love it or hate it, a guy like Kennedy Jackson thought that was a strong pitch. And he's a kid coming out of Georgia that's getting recruited by kind of the who's who in the SEC. So and when it came to his sit down with Lane Kiffin, Matt, he said, we talked about my recruitment, where it's going, and kind of asked what the feedback or kind of how it felt with Kiffin. And his quote was, well, he's very straightforward and he knows what he wants. And I think we can go back to when I asked him about flying around the country to see Levitt and Jordan Seaton after they left campus and had said no. And he says he doesn't take no very well. So I think that's kind of carrying over into high school recruiting at the moment when it comes to one-on-one meetings with Kiffin. It's you're ready to be in. And if it's a no, it's what do we have to do to get you there?
I confused my Kennedys. Kennedy Jackson from Georgia, Kennedy Brown from the Houston area. So a couple of Kennedys on the offensive line to keep an eye on.
Was that me or that you? Yes, you're right. Kennedy Brown is the 5-star out of Texas. Correct.
I don't know who I asked about, but they're both relevant at this point, obviously. And last one I wanted to ask is about Dobson, the 5-star corner, who has earlier today announced his top 5. It's LSU, Michigan, South Carolina, Auburn, and Texas A&M. LSU feels like the front runner here, Shea. Who's the biggest competition?
Right now, look, I'll defer to Wilt Fong here from a national perspective. He says it's A&M. I'm not. South Carolina, Texas A&M, Michigan, and Auburn are the other teams in the final group here, so that are not LSU. I've had my pick on LSU. I think it's going to be LSU. He's already got official visits lined up. LSU's is coming at the end of May. It's a little more than a month away, but he's made so many unofficials. I mean, the day prior he was at Michigan, was going to stay a couple of days and just left and shows up at LSU, right? And is like hanging out with DJ Pickett before the scrimmage and taking the scrimmage in and all of the things that a normal recruit would do when you're a priority. You kind of get tied to the hip of the position coach. And this reminds me a lot of DJ Pickett. It's, hey, look, Corey Raymond has attached himself to one guy. It's a 5-star. There's a clear reason why he loves him. He's an elite player. And the other guy was John Meredith. There were kind of two of them early on. And I don't even think they're recruiting John Meredith anymore. They've just honed in on Dobson to the point where I'd be very surprised if another team landed him. But look, we're in the NIL era. I don't know him as personally as I do some of these Louisiana kids, but based off everything that he said that I've kind of felt and then asked around about, I think that it's clear LSU is the team to beat for Josh Dobson.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Get him at Shea Dixon. Glad the yard looks nice. Glad you were able to stop by. We appreciate it.
Well, I guess sabotaging the show is an aggressive one for y'all to even put as an answer, but I guess that was the answer.
Well, Twitter's cynical. What can we say? Thanks, Shea.
Later, Matt.
See ya. It's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. See if the LSU UNO lineup's posted. Jake Brown's not going to be in it, so who's going to be starting and right? Got a couple options. We'll find out soon enough. Stay here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Man, there are few things better on a beautiful late spring or summer day than walking out in your backyard and just swan diving into your own custom pool. Duplessis Pools makes that happen for people every day. You could be next. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. That's the website. Yes, we talk about Duplessis Pools, but they also do outdoor kitchens. They can even do like a putting green for you to beautify your outdoor space. Make your outdoor space a showplace. We spend so much time outdoors, certainly when you have that gorgeous space here in South Louisiana. Why wouldn't you want to invest in your outdoor space? Duplessis Pools can make that happen for you. Maybe you already have a pool, but it's time to be updated, renovated, remodeled. Duplessis Pools can help you with that as well. Check them out online. Start there. DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't in the cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes like...
Help find a life-saving bone marrow donor match for Kate, an 11-year-old St. Jude patient who urgently needs a transplant. Kate has a serious TP53 mutation, and doctors say finding a bone marrow donor match as soon as possible gives her the best chance at survival. Donor drives will be held on LSU's campus Thursday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Friday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the parade grounds and in the quad. If you're between the ages of 18 and 35, you can join the National Donor Registry with a quick cheek swab. And on Thursday, all of our stations will broadcast their full lineup of shows live from the parade grounds in support of Team Kate. If you can't make it to campus, click the Team Kate link. You can register online at 1045ESPN.com, and a free cheek swab kit will be mailed directly to you. Learn more, 1045ESPN.com.
Got all the info at the website on all our socials as well. Really excited about Thursday. So we'll be out there for our shows at the parade grounds in LSU's campus, and we encourage you to come by. Ages 18 to 35 are those that are encouraged to get swabbed. So even if you're outside of that age group, maybe you can help us with just spreading word, sharing a social media post, just making people aware. So it would be an amazing – look, Thursday is going to be an awesome day anyway. It's the first day of the draft. I'm a draft nerd, excited to do all the draft shows and everything. Friday will be at Zurich, as we are every Friday on the Friday of the Zurich Classic. So, I mean, excited about the end of this week. It's going to be a real fun day. But, man, what an incredible day. Praying so hard that Thursday is the day that we find Kate's match. So help us save this 11-year-old girl's life. It'd be awesome. All right, waiting on the lineup to be posted for LSU and UNO tonight out at Alec Box Stadium. We'll get to that in just a quick second. Lane Kiffin met with reporters today. You can tell like he's getting a little comfortable. I think he even smiled today, which was odd. We saw, he's usually very low talker, far from the mic, mumbles a little bit, but he smiled today, which is something. And he talked about kind of getting in shape and getting his staff in shape as well. How they all a lot of them go do hot yoga together in the morning. He talked about that a little bit.
Coach Saban had like the coaching rehabilitation program. Like we'd go in there and then we'd get a stamp so we'd get a job again, Over these years with my change in nutrition and exercise and everything, I feel like we've had a lot of people jump into that and we motivate them. I actually had a number of wives over the years thank me because they're like, hey, you're improving my husband, how he's in shape and how he thinks and probably how long he lives. So our new project is T. Martin. So we're on about week 3. And so he's doing good and buying in. So we had a series of stuff last night, like 8 o'clock, and then this morning at 6 a.m. again. So it's kind of fun, especially as coaches come together and don't know all each other. And we have some good before and after pictures, we've put up before. Some good stories in there. It's actually pretty cool. I do think on that, though, we're around our players, and, obviously that doesn't have to be done, in order to win. But I think when your players see that your mindset is that way about everything, the competitiveness, and then they're up here at night doing similar things, or they're out on the jugs, and it just kind of creates a whole culture of coaches and players all in an elite mindset about being great in all areas of their life.
Dude straight called out T. Martin. I mean, put T. Martin on blast.
Called him the next project? Is that what he said?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Like, we got, Paul, I need you to do a side-by-side of T when he played and T now. He's big.
Yeah.
Big dude. He's gained some LBs. And a weird thing, so last week, I think I might have said this on air. I don't remember if I said this on air. But so I was videoing some of the receiver routes, one of the practices last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. And a lot of times, like if the quarterbacks are doing other drills, well, somebody's got to throw. So a lot of times the GA or whatever is throwing the routes. And so I'm like, man. And I'm 70 yards away, right? Like I'm in the end zone. They're running these routes like at the 30 on the other end of the field. It's like, man, GA can sling it. Like, that's, boy, look at the zip, the accuracy, good release, all that stuff. Kind of zoom in on the camera. It's T. Martin.
That makes sense.
This guy was an NFL quarterback.
So he still got the arm. He still got the motions. Like that part hadn't left.
Now, I don't know if you told him, hey, rear back and chuck it. Like, is he getting it 60 yards downfield? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Who am I to challenge him? But, I don't know that part. But I'm telling you, dude still got the release. Zipping 10-yard, quick slants and crossers and looking good. I'm like, zip. What a luxury. What a luxury. An NFL quarterback on staff to throw. I mean, you only got 3 quarterbacks right now, and one of them can't throw. So you got 2. Right. Well, I'm sorry. You got 4. One of them can't throw. So you got 3, right? So you got Clark, Longstreet, and Emil Picarella. That's it. Somebody's got to throw all these passes. You ever heard of a camp arm? You got to have a camp arm.
Yeah.
Your camp arm is T. Martin. Bring it on. It's like they used to have, like Dan Canterbury, LSU, former LSU assistant, a lefty. He would throw BP, the lefty BP. You got to have someone in there as a lefty. Give him a look. Give him a look at a lefty.
A little of this.
One of these. Over the top.
There it is.
Brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. We had Ben McDonald on the show a little bit ago. Ben McDonald, former first overall pick of the Major League Baseball draft. When he bought land, his first call was to First South Farm Credit. So if it's 100 acres in St. Francisville, 200 acres in Mississippi, 500 acres in Texas, you want to buy a dude ranch in Montana or whatever, telling you, First South Farm Credit. They can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, starting lineup is posted for LSU and UNO tonight. And as expected, there is a change in right field, but let's take it from the top. Stanfield will lead off playing left. Curry will bat second, being center. Aaron Beatty behind the dish. He'll bat third. Milam in the cleanup spot will play short. Cerna will DH and bat fifth. York back in the lineup, playing first, batting sixth. Pearson will play third and bat seventh. It'll be William Patrick making the start in right, batting eighth. And then Jack Ruckert will get the start at second base and bat ninth. So you look up and down this lineup, Cerna, Patrick, Ruckert, got 3 freshmen in the lineup tonight. One of the things Jay talked about on Friday, you want to commit to your young guys. You want to commit to keeping the guys you recruited here. Play them. See how it goes. See you tonight. All right, it's after further review. Final break of the show. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. It's AFR.
AFR.
Not too late, y'all. Actually, it's right on time. It's called River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Always encourage you to make sure you get that pre-season AC tune-up. I say it this way all the time because I think this analogy is best. You wouldn't get in the car and drive across the country without first making sure that thing is ready. Like, you'd have the oil change, the tires rotated. You make sure your vehicle's in shape, right? Ready to go across the country for that journey. Well, you don't want to go through summer in Louisiana without making sure your AC is ready to roll. Look, that thing doesn't get a break, right? Sits on the side of your house, 100-degree temps, humidity, dust, dander, bugs, thunderstorms, never gets a break. Make sure it is in tip-top shape for the coming warm weather. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long.
In the grind, the focus, and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts, provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555.
We're brought to you by River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. And yeah, at River Parish Contractors, they do turnarounds too. They just finished one over with CF, and amazing work. Not one safety incident throughout the course of the work that they did. And we know it all the time, right? I mean, you don't get hired to do work inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record. Well, that's River Parish Contractors. And of course, if you're going to keep getting rehired, you have to do amazing work, and that's River Parish Contractors. And if you're looking to work, turnaround work, or looking to work in their fab shop there in reserve, or at any of the jobs they have going on from Chalmette to Baton Rouge and anywhere in between, River Parish Contractors. They're going to keep you busy. It's not a deal where you're going to be employed for 2 weeks. They got to lay you off. They're going to keep you working. Overtime available, rpcontractors.com. Check them out, rpcontractors.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. One thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
Got a full plate for you and an add-on. So
let's go.
Let's get right to it. Houston, Cleveland, we gave out over 8.5. That's 2-0 early. So not sure what the
still at
updated
still at 8.5.
Still at 8.5. I would take it over. Payton, the hot pitcher for Cleveland, a rookie who's down to like 3 or 4 to 1 to win Rookie of the Year. But Houston's lineup has been outstanding. They've had all their troubles on the mound, but not at the plate, so we'll see. And nobody's hotter than Yordan Alvarez. Tampa Bay is down 2-0. I would still advise, go take a swing. Get a much better number now, so I would still take it at money line. Cincinnati, one of the better records in baseball, but the luck factor has them where they should be. I know it sounds like you out-hit somebody 10-1 and went extra innings or one strike away last night in Kansas City. But I digress. But Tampa Bay against Cincinnati, we just don't think that their luck is sustainable. We're going to take the Rays there. Again, down 2-0. Atlanta's underway already. They are red hot, and they're smoking. They won big last night, the over hit as well. So we're going with Atlanta again on the road in the nation's capital, -1.5 runs. And we're going to add a total. We're going to go over at Coors Field, San Diego and Colorado. Not exactly throwing their toughest pitchers tonight, so we know how that park plays. So we're going to take the Rockies hitting the ball pretty good at home. They just split the 4-game set with the Dodgers. We'll take that over 11 in that one. 2 games in the NBA. Keep in mind, speaking of live betting, if you're watching, especially on Peacock, Matt, I was 10 points behind. It's not just me. A lot of people are talking about it. If you are betting, DraftKings app is very good at giving you the exact score. Check it out tonight while you're watching the game. The actual score in the app and what it is. You want to talk about a spoiler. But anyway, if you're live betting, trying to middle things like that, you got to look at the app and not the TV. This is a big one to lay, but we're going to lay it 14 points. I think it's 14.5 right now.
13.5 right now.
13.5 with the Celtics. Love the way Tatum looked. I mean, we know about he was fortunate just to have him back. He pushed and played as many games as he could in the regular season to get ready. He looked great. Of course, without Embiid, Philly's not much to put up a fight. I can't see how this is not going to be a sweep. I know it's a big number. When they get up to about 20, if you get at least a 5-point middle, try and middle a third of your original bet. And in Portland tonight, this is where the San Antonio game 1 on Sunday night more than doubled their playoff experience in games played. That's how green they are. Only 7 games coming into this one by De'Aaron Fox that he's played all time. That is it for San Antonio. I love San Antonio's roster. I think they're great. They're going to be really, really good for years to come with Wembanyama. But this is a classic spot where they may exhale just a little bit in this spot after winning comfortably by 13 Sunday night. We're going to take Portland plus the 11.5. All right.
Celtics on the number and Portland as well with the points plus 11.5. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
Roca Pizzeria on Government Street.
Roll those R's. Ruffles and wrenches have ridges. That's what they taught us when I did Spanish class in high school. Ruffles and wrenches have ridges.
Arroz.
All right, Otter. Enjoy Roca. Let's get some wins tonight. Let's cash some tickets.
Good luck.
Here we go. All right. Just about going to do it for us here. We are brought to you by Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R. Just took a swig. Oh, my Evamore. Have it here every day. Stay hydrated. Sauna every night at my house. Go into my sauna with a bottle of Evamore. Tell you all the time, man. Better form of hydration. Tastes better. Challenge you. Grab a bottle of whatever bottle of water you usually drink. Grab a bottle of Evermore. Do the side-by-side taste test. You'll never go back. And then you learn it's a Louisiana product. It's natural artesian water. I don't know why you would drink anything else. It's the best. It's Evermore. E-V-A-M-O-R. Find the stores that carry it nearest you. Evermore.com. Hit the menu. There's a store locator tab. Just type in your zip code, and it'll tell you the store nearest you. And then, or you can buy it online. There's a big Buy Now tab at the top right. E-V-A-M-O-R. Evermore.com. Evermore.com. All right, just about going to do it for us here. We're going to get on down the road. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand is presented by Breck Golf. You can book your tee time at golf.breck.org. Thanks to Shea Dixon, who was with us, Ben McDonald as well. We gave you an LSU football practice report. Lots of NFL draft stuff today. So if you missed anything, you can catch AFR On Demand. All right, we're back in studio tomorrow. Wednesday should be a really good show. As we'll be 24 hours out, all the latest on the NFL draft. And then Thursday, of course, we're out at LSU for the Team Kate Swab event and first day of the NFL draft. Friday, we're down in NOLA at Zurich at the Walk-Ons 10 on 17. Busy week. Fired up for it and glad you're hanging out with us here. Muse Pauly, thanks y'all. Have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, as Terrio would say. Shawbills! Actually, my son Drew yells that all the time now. Shawbills. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. They'll keep you coming back because they treat you like family. The Charlie's dozen, a dozen benefits extended to you and every vehicle in your family when you buy tires at Shawbills. So get them by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. And also, y'all, they can they can finance any service work that you may need done on your vehicle. Understand, look, sometimes, finances can be tough and you might have to pinch pennies, and they can help over at Shawbills make it happen. I always tell you about the Shawbills credit card as well. You get great benefits extended to you and discounts when you use your Shawbills credit card. So learn more at ShawBillsTire.com or just walk into any of the Shawbills locations nearest you. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off